Welcome to the Back Tube. Hey everybody, how you doing? Dude, that intro never gets old.
I love it.
I'm in fucking love with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That music is just so perfect for this channel.
My only problem with it is just as I'm getting ready to rock out, it stops.
Yeah,
That's the way I am with the outro.
So good.
Well, real quick, let's say hi to everybody. Hello, Jester.
Hello.
Hey, Chester.
Yo, Maximus, how you doing? Hi, Armin.
Hi, y'all.
Ghost, what's up, brother? Miss Apollomy, how you doing?
Simmy.
Scott, the Vactubi versus Westbrook, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Harry, nice to see you.
Christy.
Hope games are going well today for you. And I believe that's it. Yeah, that is it.
All right.
Just a small knit group on a Saturday afternoon, drinking and talking. October.
I love it.
My
favorite month.
month.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
It
definitely.
is.
Best month of the year.
Yep,
Mhm.
best month of the year that goes the fastest.
Oh,
I
yes,
know.
Shep, don't say that. I don't want to hear
Pisses
that.
me
It's
off.
true, but I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. My daughter texted me today and she's like, "Did you hear Rob Zombie redid the Monsters?" With like 1,000 exclamation points. I'm
Mhm.
like, yes, I did. She's like, yay.
Yeah, does Herman screw his wife or does Grandpa?
What?
In every movie, Rob Zombie's wife gets screwed by somebody.
Oh, I thought you said does Herman's wife, like
No.
Lily. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
that's what I said. I don't want
Unless
to
she
see
plays
it.
Lily.
Oh,
Unless she
God.
plays Lily.
I think she
And
does.
yeah, she can bang by everybody.
Just one banging by
She's like
Herman
his personal
is
bang
enough.
bus.
Oh, God. Blech.
I know, right?
I've got my apprehensions about it. I hope he honors the source material without getting too freaky. I'd like to see Tim Burton do something with the Munsters, but I like
That would
Tim
be good.
Burton's, you know.
That would be a better mix, I think.
Yeah, it matches to me better than
Then, Helena Bonham Carter would be Lily and Johnny Depp would be Herman.
Although, you know,
Because they're in
Johnny
every
Depp,
movie he does.
They are. He might
I'm just
be
saying that.
Grandpa. He might could maybe get away with Grandpa. but
Oh, Johnny
I
could
don't
definitely
see
do
him as
Grandpa.
Herman. I
Oh,
guess,
definitely.
but Grandpa, yeah.
Yeah, I can't really see him as Herman. I mean, I know he's a bit of a chameleon and he really does adapt well in almost all of his roles, but yeah, I can't see Johnny Depp as Herman.
Herman needs
He
to
just
maintain that
he doesn't have
sweet.
the shoulders.
He doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, they would definitely need to put him on some stilts and some,
Mm.
But Herman, to me, and this is what I've always been irritated by any kind of remakes with the Munsters, particularly. I don't know if y'all saw Mockingbird Lane when they tried to reboot it, where Eddie Izzard played Grandpa, and the guy from Sliders, the dude from Sliders, played Herman, and Portia.
John Ross
Degrassi
Davies played Herman?
No, the lead dude, the lead
Jerry
dude.
O'Connell?
Yes, he played Herman.
No.
He played freaking Herman.
Oh,
Oh,
shit, I
yes,
gotta look
look
this
this
up.
up. Look it
I
up.
mean,
Oh,
Eddie Izzard, I
it
can
was-
definitely see as the grandpa though. That's
It was
not
a
bad
completely
casting.
different take. It was a much darker take. It was a much, he didn't look like Herman per se. It was, he had been pieced together by Grandpa, and it was very dark, and it was an interesting take. But the thing that irritates me is all of them change Herman. Herman was like the straight-laced, big, lovable, all-American guy. It was an all-American family, and that gets lost. They weren't the Addams family. They were the all-American family that
Who
just
just
looked
happened to be
different.
monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, they just happened to be monsters, and that was the shtick of it. That was the thing of it. But yeah, and it never took off. They did the pilot, and they released the pilot, but it never got off the ground. And I could kind of see why. It would be interesting if it was its own thing, but because it was the Munsters, it was like, yeah, it was dark. It was dark.
That's like, he looks more like a grown-up Eddie Munster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was, and Portia de Grazio, Ellen DeGeneres' wife. I don't know.
Portia de Rossi.
Yeah, Degrassi.
The
She
pretty
played
one.
Lily, but she looked beautiful as Lily, but she wasn't Lily. It was more of a Morticia interpretation of Lily. And I don't know. I would love to see a wholesome remake of the Munsters with a little twist.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool, but
Throw a strike.
if frogs had wings, they would bump their asses when they fly. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So,
Right. Yeah. And looking at that photo, I see why it did not take off.
No, it didn't. It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't clever enough, and it was too dark. If it was very clever and dark, I think it would have. People would. But it was too Addams Family-esque in that
What
regard.
they should have done is made that the Munsters' neighbors who were trying to emulate the Munsters.
And that'd be
That would have been
interesting.
made more sense.
The
It's like,
coolest
they're our
part
neighbors. Look at them. I mean, they
was at the end when they were talking about getting Eddie a pet, and they're like, "Oh, your pet is arriving today," and then you heard a screech in the sky, and this huge dragon swoops down. Spot comes down.
I love
That was the coolest part when Spot the dragon arrives, and it's Eddie's pet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Run, Spot! Though they're gonna stick you underneath the staircase."
Hey, he lives like Harry Potter.
He does. Spot's happy. Spot's happy. But yeah. Oh, anyway. So we'll
Yeah, I
see.
mean, it would have been great to see that, but I saw just a picture of the one that's on now, and it's like, it looks like a bad 80s movie just from the photos.
See, why don't
the
they go
makeup
back
is
to
over
the
the top.
60s? Why don't they go back to the 60s? Do it like the 60s.
The bad 80s movie style is kind of Rob Zombie's signature, though.
That's true.
All of his films have kind of got that vibe.
That is
Yeah,
true.
but the thing is, they're not good. They're not bad good. They're just bad.
Oh,
I'm a
I'm not
fan
a
of
Rob
good bad
Zombie
movies.
connoisseur,
Dude, I
so I
love a
can't
bad
talk.
movie. But his movies are just bad.
Oh, well.
yeah,
I
they're,
mean-
they're definitely not worth a rewatch.
Yeah. You can watch them once and then it's like, okay, I'm done.
Now, did
That's-
Burton do the Addams Family? No, he didn't do the Addams. Who did the Addams Family? The one with Angelica Houston and Raul Julia.
I don't know, but Raul Julia, no.
Oh, nailed
He
it.
was
Nailed it.
Gomez.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Hey, Ronnie, what's up, man?
And Angelica Houston as Morticia. I mean, those two just had
Really?
chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
That
I
was
think they
good.
became the definitive couple in those films. It was
I
just-
agree. I agree.
I think if you could have put Raul Julia with Yvonne DiCarlo, oh my fucking god, it would have broke the universe.
With Yvonne DiCarlo,
Mm-hmm.
she was Lily Munster.
I don't know.
You mean make her Morticia? I'm confused. Or her
Just-
playing Morticia, the actress playing Morticia. I'm sorry, I'm confusing Daryl. Stop, I'm sorry.
You both confused me. I've lost.
Okay. Oh, Daryl!
Oh no.
See, I love Morticia. I've always wanted to be Morticia, but I'm more of a Lily Munster. You know, I am. So, but I love Morticia. Daryl, come back. It's okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you.
I had a brain fart. I'm sorry.
It happens to be all the time.
Hail Emperor.
Hey, Palpatine, Queek Quack Jin, made the Jedi way.
Hail Hydra.
But anyway, but yeah. So I'll have to start watching the Munsters. So I watch them and some of the Addams Family every October. It's like I try and watch something Halloweenish or, you know, monsterish or ghost story or paranormal-esque at least once a day, 31 days of October. And of course, I will probably watch the Disney's version of Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane 1,000 times for the rest of this year, because that is my favorite ghost story, and that is my favorite rendition of that ghost story is the Disney version.
Man, I got to tell you, Johnny Depp's version is up there for me.
Oh, it's good, but it is not. They veer off from the story. It's a derivative. It's not the actual.
Yeah,
which is fine. Which is fine because I enjoy it. I watch that too. I'll watch that probably at least 3 times. But that original freaking story, and I read the short story every year. I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I just like Christopher Walken as the horseman.
Oh well, who else?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Who else? But you know, gnarly.
I'm gonna ride my
gnarly.
horse. Of course. I can't do Christopher Walken very long because it kind of fades into Katharine Hepburn. He's like, I'm going to ride my horse to the car down the road, and
then I'm going to. Yes, fun. Yes.
it just digresses every time. It's like, okay, whatever.
Spencer, come get me, Spencer.
Yes, so Miss Daisy, I'd be honking.
Oh my god. But yeah, he was terrifying in that film. He really was.
Yeah.
He was. When I heard he was going to play the Hessian, I was like, I'm seeing it now.
Well, see, I didn't know he was in the movie until I watched the movie. And
Oh, really?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, not just, man.
That is on my bucket list to go to Sleepy Hollow, to actually go to Sleepy Hollow. And because they have around this time of year, they actually have a live reenactment because Washington Irwin's his mansion is there. It's not where he wrote it, but it's where he lived, and his grave is there and everything. And they have a live reenactment of the Headless Horseman, the whole play, the whole story, and you can go and you can watch. And oh yeah, I want to go to Salem, but I have heard from people who have been there, Salem is a lot more kitschy and commercial around this time of year than Sleepy Hollow is. Sleepy Hollow, you get immersed in the culture of the town and the people. You know, Salem, you go to all the witchy shops and buy witchy shit.
Yeah.
Kitschy witchy shit, which is fine. You know, I would enjoy that, but I want a full experience.
And then you look on the bottom of the little trinket you bought made in China. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's like no, but yeah, Sleepy Hollow.
It's like they ordered these off Wish.
I want to see the the little churchyard. I want to see the bridge. They have the actual path where the bridge was, the original bridge, but then they have a replica of the actual bridge. They had to rebuild it.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
The bridge wouldn't have survived that long being wooden.
And I would love that. If y'all have never read the story, Read it. It's not very long, and it's fan fucking nominal this time of year. Get yourself, some apple cider, hard cider or not, some pumpkin spice tea, coffee, whatever. If you got a fireplace,
why?
sit in front of it and
Wait.
read it.
Non-alcoholic cider. What?
No, I said hard cider or not. I said hard or not. Yeah.
Yeah, but that just sounds wrong to me.
What, hard cider?
No, not just the
Oh,
idea
not.
of it not being hard.
I
Where-
agree.
Where is
prefer hard
Chris
cider.
Persia when I need him, or Mark?
Why hard cider? What's wrong with that?
Oh, the past 1 minute should be clipped and just played audio only. Because this is like,
everybody.
wait, hard or not? What?
Hard or not?
Hard or
Hard
not?
cider or not?
What?
Y'all, you've been around me for a year and you're still surprised? Come on now.
No, it's an absolute treasure. You are a walking gold mine of
Oh
content.
my God. Stop it.
Get grifted.
Yeah.
Get grifted, y'all. Get grifted. I got grifted by Pat Steven. Get grifted.
Hell yeah.
He needs to put that on a t-shirt. He really does.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then he could pay me royalties for it. Yeah, I'm sure that would go over like a lead balloon. Hey, Brady, do shit. It's my channel. I'll put it on there if I want.
Wait, where's it?
Anyway.
Hmm. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why do I have that on there?
What you do with Daryl?
Oh,
Something shiny run by?
yeah. I was looking on my other channel I'm broadcasting to right now. And I was like, I know I had a couple of videos. We had the spooky talk
Mm-hmm.
that, funny enough, I'm wearing this exact same shirt.
You're consistent. Nice.
Yeah, 11 months apart, and I'm wearing the same shirt. No, I just, for some reason, when Mexican Iron Man came on the VacTube, I streamed it to that channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why? That's a horror channel. There wasn't anything horrible about that except the way I act. Anyway.
Well, I got a question for Jester.
Uh-oh.
Why is October your favorite month? You mentioned it in the green room. It was your favorite month. Why?
It's a very
Okay.
sorry.
It's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a very loaded question.
Uh-huh.
Well, primarily Halloween. The one day of the year where it doesn't matter who you are, you get to be someone else.
This is true.
And I love that concept as a role player.
Yeah.
It appeals to my inner gamer. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, everything in October is just leading up to Halloween and the anticipation of who's going to be what. And
It really is a season. It's a monthly season.
I've always felt that.
Yeah, I agree.
And what costume's going to get turned slutty this year?
Right?
Is it going to be nurse, Freddy Krueger, cop?
I'm looking forward to Slutty Two-Face.
Slutty Two-Face?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Chocolate vanilla in the same. Oh, my God.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking about going as the church lady. Or a nun.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
I mean, we're supposed to be something that we're not, right? I can get
It's
it.
the
Oh, my
idea.
God, church lady. Oh, my God.
Church lady. Isn't that special? I don't know.
Well,
I've
no,
thought
that's
about
this
it.
one. Well, isn't that special?
Yeah, see, I could get a wig and the little, vest blazer that she wears and wear like the knee high just rolled down like
Can
she
you play
does.
the drums?
Can I play the drums?
Mm-hmm.
I could probably fake it, but
Okay.
why? Does she play the drums?
Oh yeah. Dana Carvey plays the shit out of the drums.
Yeah, but
And
does
Church
Church
Lady
Lady
does
play
too.
the? Oh, okay. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
I don't remember Church Lady playing the drums. So that'd be fun. I could do
Slutty
that.
Putin.
Slutty Putin.
That's when you've been in it too long.
Slutty Putin.
When it starts pooting on you.
Well, I always buy a new witch's hat, like a fancy, nice witch's hat, and I wear that in black. But that's me almost every day, so it's not that different. But it's
That
fun.
reminds me. I need to get my mum a new broom.
All right, here's your tagline. See if you can pull it off.
Could she be motivated by, I don't know, maybe Satan?
It's a
Hail
little pitchy,
Satan.
but- Damn it.
I don't know. I
Oh.
haven't done anything
We're
really
20
for
minutes in and I'm already empty.
Halloween
That's a
in the
disaster.
past 3. Well, let's see. What did we do anything last year for Halloween online?
Not that I know of.
I know
think
we had to
a
done
karaoke,
something.
maybe. Oh shit, I don't know. Now I got to look at the channel.
I was gonna say, or did we do a bougie boozers? I mean, something had to have happened on Halloween, and I just
We
can't
may have had
remember.
a pub chat. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, we did. We had to have done something. I don't believe we didn't do anything. And see, the Halloween before that was not my daughter. I was so sick and so depressed that my daughter actually set up the Christmas tree on Halloween night for me. She did. She did. But see, we always put Ghostface, the mask of Ghostface. That's our tree topper every year. So she was like, well, why don't we just combine it? And she did it because like I said, I was just sick. I was down.
Yeah,
That
we did.
2020. Okay. But last year we had did that. So we got to do something again this year too. I don't know. What does Halloween fall on? Let me look. Look, y'all, we're already planning, damn it. Oh, wait, that's YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Hang on, calendar. All right, it's a Monday, so we could do
Yeah,
something on the
Stephen-
29th or I don't
Steven
know.
was on, Ghost Rider was on, you were not. Oh wait.
I wasn't on.
Yeah, you were. You showed up about an hour in. We went almost 3 hours.
Oh, because really?
You had somebody else's stream to do.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was me, Arlena, Steven, you, and Ghost Rider.
Okay.
And then I think Tron came in. That could have been when he dropped the F-bomb.
Oh, you may be right. You may be right. So, anyway,
So yeah.
we'll do something. Friday and Saturday. Why not? We could celebrate it twice.
Now that's
So
not
nice.
a good idea to me.
Yeah, we'll party all weekend. We'll do it on Sunday too. We'll party all
Shit, I'm down.
weekend.
I'm down. I mean,
I'll get an
see,
extra bottle
that's-
of rum in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Spiced rum. Yeah, I won't drink any wine. I'll do some rum. That just sounds like a Halloween beverage.
Hey, Mark. What do you mean?
Mark!
They were so far ahead. It was like 23 to
Are they
6 right before the show.
chokers? Are they chokers? Do they choke like in the last?
Well, Oklahoma scored a touchdown in like the first 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
But Bama was way ahead, 23 to 6 or something like that, right before the show started. So I had
Yeah.
it was on. We have TVs on for noise, so it was on one of the TVs, and I just glanced up at it. I don't know who Bryce Young is, but oh damn, yeah,
Okay.
they're pulling the Cowboys.
It's getting dark in here. Damn, let me turn the light
Going
on.
all good until the fourth quarter, and it's like, oh hell, fucking, let's just go home. Absolutely, Phil. Fucking drop the fuck bomb. I don't care.
I had hopes Ian was gonna play me. Pay me a visit. I was like, play me what? I was confused. I thought maybe we were talking about Halloween. I'm like, somebody's gonna play me for Halloween. Oh my God, what?
Oh, damn. Eddie, what's up, brother? Long
Hey.
time no see, man. How you doing? Good to see you. It's great to see you, buddy. I feel like Willy Wonka because now I have this kazoo sitting on my desk, and I want to play a little tune every time I gotta go off camera. It's like I gotta go refill my drink.
Do it.
Oh,
Do it. God, it is kazoo. Oh well.
nothing wrong with a kazoo. Nothing wrong with a kazoo at all.
No, kazoo is it's one of those instruments where do you take it seriously? Do you not take it seriously? Do you what the hell do you do with a kazoo? I mean, it's even the name of it, kazoo.
I think inherently it's a musical instrument that has embraced its comedic value.
I think you're right. I think you're right. It is what it is. It is the nature
Yeah.
of the kazoo to make people laugh, and it knows it, and it's happy that it does its job.
Yeah,
That's the kazoo.
exactly. There's nothing wrong with just making people laugh.
Yeah, we need
Not
more
everything
laughter
in life
this
needs
world.
to be serious.
I agree with that. And I've been kind of in serious mode lately, and I need to break out of that. I don't like being. Yes, I mean there are times to be serious. I get it. God knows I get that.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't avoid adulting.
Yes, you can, and it's like shit. Here we go again. I have to be an adult. It sucks ass, but it is what it is. But at the same time, it's like, damn, just lighten up and laugh a little. It's not that deep. It makes you feel good. It releases endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
A good smile is shit worth 1,000 things, in my opinion.
A good smile, even a forced smile, releases endorphins as well.
Yeah. And I read
Which
somewhere it
makes
takes
you want
more
to smile.
muscles to frown than it does to smile. It takes more muscles in your face to do a frown and causes more wrinkles. And in the long run, no, smile.
I mean,
know?
yes, it does use more muscles, but the muscles you use when you smile are bigger, so you use about the same amount of energy.
But it feels better.
Oh, definitely. The endorphins effect of just smiling cannot be understated.
Welcome back, Willie.
I don't have endorphins. I have endorphins.
Endorphin.
Now they sound fun. Where can I get some?
But Mark should be smiling.
Uh-huh.
Bama just scored again, so he should be.
Oh.
Smiling.
Okay.
Hey, Chris. Man,
Hey,
could have used
Chris.
you earlier for a clip.
Don't listen to him, Chris. He knows not what he speaketh.
Yeah.
He knows.
If you do hear the first 20 minutes of the show, you'll know. Once that conversation starts, it's like 1 minute of solid audio gold.
It's not that
Yeah, it
salacious,
is.
Chris. It's not, don't listen to him. It's not.
There's nothing salacious about
I make no apologies for my part in that.
Hey, RD.
it.
Hey,
Hey, nice to see you, Rogue. Dude, I love that hat you were wearing. I thought you were about to go in something VacTubish on your little video with all the water
VacTubi?
around you.
VacTubi.
Well, let's just say he was wearing a Eastern Persuasion hat.
An Eastern persuasion? You mean a Gutra?
Would you call me?
A Gutra.
What did you call me?
I didn't call you. I said a Gutra. Is it
What the-
Eastern?
I'm not a gooch.
No, not a gooch. A Gutra. Gutra. It's Arabs.
That's what you
wear
say if you
them.
get a hair stuck in your teeth.
You know, Jester, do you know what I'm talking about?
I have never heard that word before, but that doesn't
Well,
mean
I am
that
an
it
uneducated.
All
doesn't
right,
exist.
hang on. I gotta Google this. I gotta make
Look,
sure I'm
he
saying
said it's
this
about
right.
two words. What I saw was a rice hat.
Gutra. Okay, yeah. All right, hang on. I'm gonna share this. Y'all have seen a Gutra? Come on now.
I don't know the
I probably have
terminology.
seen them, but
I'm an uneducated swine.
No, hang on. Let me share this.
I also resembled that remark.
There, Daryl, share that. Shit.
I gotta wait on it to load. Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
That is a Gutra.
That's Middle Eastern persuasion.
Well, you said Eastern, Middle East. is the
Eastern,
East.
not Middle Eastern.
Oh, you
well,
meant Far Eastern.
I've lived in the Middle East, so that's what when I
fuck's
think of
sakes, I'm
Eastern, that's where my mind goes. Shit, I lived in Saudi Arabia for 3 years. I'm sorry, but anyway, that's Gutra. I saw that every day.
Oh, well, thank you for that. I didn't know they were called that.
Well, at least they were
Seriously.
over there. They may be called other things, but and then the thobe is the robe that the Middle Eastern gentlemen wear in Saudi Arabia. It's the thobe.
Oh.
Yeah, and the Gutra is the headpiece or the headwear, I should say. Headpiece makes it sound, but headwear. Sorry,
This
my
is
mistake.
what I was referring to when I say Eastern persuasion.
Oh, okay.
A rice hat.
Okay.
I
You're
even
talking
said it.
like,
Yeah,
oh, all right.
I
I'm
even
sorry.
said rice hat.
that is exactly what I pictured when you said rice hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw
sorry.
Rogue wearing that and looked like he was wearing almost like a geisha outfit.
Asian Eastern. Okay, not Middle East.
Yeah,
Okay,
That's
I'm
what I
sorry.
said. Eastern, not Middle Eastern.
Well, it's all over there in the East. I'm sorry.
Now you've got images of Rogue as a geisha in my head, and I'm not sure I can unsee this.
Dude, he was looking banging.
RD is a good. That's a Gutra. I'm sorry. That's a geisha. Maybe RD could wear a
I'm
Gutra
sorry,
while
I'm
he's
sorry,
dressed as a
Rogue. I put that
geisha.
image in everybody's mind, but dude, that's what it looked like to me.
Sorry.
You were wearing a rice hat and a geisha outfit. But you look good. And you still look manly.
Great.
You didn't look feminine at all.
With the little rice powder, the makeup there, and
No,
the
it was just from here.
nightingale,
All you could see
the
is from here up.
nightingale poop,
Oh, okay.
white foundation that they
And all the
made.
water by his dock and all that stuff he was saying. I said dock.
The vermilion red lips. I mean, yeah, he could rock it.
He did.
And still look like a dude. Be all right.
Yeah, not everyone can pull that off.
No, that's true. Mm-mm. Well, see, lots of
Why you gotta throw a wrench in there, Chris? What the fuck?
because he is a wrench.
I know.
wrench of
That's why I
wrenches.
said that.
I feel like I should
God.
answer that question as I'm from England.
There you go, Jester.
No.
You are qualified to answer that.
We're the Western weasels.
Yeah, we're still considered Western, and so are they. So
Then if you're considered Western and Asia, or not Asia, but China and all that stuff is considered East, so the Middle East is the center of the world.
That's
Yeah,
what they
pretty much.
say. Yeah.
That's the
That sounds
birthplace
like-
of civilization.
Some people claim that that is legit the birthplace of civilization. That's where man sprung up from.
Well, yeah, I figured it was closer to like Egypt, Northern Africa, and all that.
Hmm?
But I mean, yeah, it could be further to the east than that.
Let me tell you, you
I
talk
I mean,
about
there were definitely some key developments in the Middle East.
Yeah,
Things like
and
mathematics.
some of the
and-
oldest civilizations on the planet have Egyptian influence.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I've seen some caves that you talk about old. Those caves were thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. Some of these caves.
I thought you quit looking on those websites.
Oh, shut up! I'm talking
No.
about in real life. Yeah, it's
That reminds me of a bad
it's
joke.
humbling. It's humbling. Let me put it
Yeah.
that way.
Do you know what kind of car cougars drive? A
No.
Ferrari.
Oh God.
Do you know the word homeowner has meow in the middle of it?
Yeah, it does. I had to think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Good luck pronouncing that correctly for the rest of your life.
Oh, meowner.
Homeowner.
Oh, meowner. Shut up, Daryl. Great. Now it's going to be in my head every time I see that word.
You're welcome.
Uh,
Happy to help.
Yeah, I'm Eastern American then, aren't I? I'm Eastern
And
American.
it's funny because I'm in the middle of the United States, but I'm not Central American.
No, you'd be Middle American, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you be Middle American? I mean, if you don't technically go into the middle, but like
But I am
everything
in the
is
middle.
just divided. I mean, yeah, you
Where I
are.
live is almost the exact middle.
See,
of the United
so
States.
you would be, but you would be Middle South American because you're in the you're in the
I'm not
southern.
South American.
In the southern. I oh my God. We hang around Stephen too long. Southern
This
part
is
of
Brazil.
America.
You know, I know from
Not
Brazil. What the
southern,
hell?
southern.
Shit, if I lived in Brazil, I'd be a Coke lord.
Okay.
I mean, I am wearing the white hat.
You are. You are.
I'm what is considered to look like a mule.
the man from the
I had to
backfield,
think
you
about
say,
that for a minute.
Yeah.
"You."
I look like a mule.
You look like a mule.
But Gia always tells me that. Anyway. It was a land called Pangea where man came from. Sorry, I just had to say it like that.
That was nice. That was
That was
nice.
sweet.
Yeah, Southern American. Okay, so Middle Southern
yeah,
American.
dude. I'm
There we
right in
go.
the heart of the Mexican Revolution
Mm-hmm.
because they're slowly, they wanted Texas back in the 1800s
Yeah.
when Sam Houston got it. Well, they pretty much got it back. And what is extreme northern Mexico? Just south of Fort Worth.
I'd like to go to New Mexico. I'd like to visit that. I've heard New Mexico is
It's
Where
like
a lot
regular
of
Mexico, only fresher.
artsy fartsy people go, and
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's where budding
Santa
artists-
Fe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I'm like, that may be kind of nice.
If I ever go, I'll go to the Carlsbad Caverns and then go to Arizona to see the meteor crater.
Yes. Oh, it is in Roswell in New Mexico.
Mhm.
See, aliens, y'all, aliens. That's my jam. I would love to. But you talk about a kitschy place, but I'd be okay with that.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I'd go to all the alien cafes. I'd ride all the alien rides. I'm like, you alien, let me ride you. I mean, it would be so much fun. Oh my God. Buy the t-shirts, everything. I would be there, y'all. That's
Chris,
where I
you know
wanna
what to
go.
do. Thank you.
That would
does
be
sound
fun.
like a blast,
Because you left
actually.
one word of that key
Yes.
phrase, and we're going to clip it.
Oh, what are you talking about now? Oh my God. What? I didn't say anything.
You said, alien, I want to ride you.
The rides, Daryl, the rides. Everybody knew what I was talking
I know,
about.
but it's going into our out of context section of the show. It's time for Out of Context with Arwen Avenue. See? Turn that frown upside down, brother. Hey,
Oh,
Ted, what's up, man? How you doing?
Ted.
Hey, John, what's up, Wreck Dragon?
In Sedona. I'd love to go to Sedona, Arizona. It is Arizona, right? Sedona?
Is that next to Babylona?
I don't think so. But I'd like to go there, see the.
I was just
the
thinking where
big-
King Tut moved.
The really big. Oh, yeah. You're right. Born in Babylona. Yeah, he moved to Arizona. I gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah,
King
I'd like to go there. That's where all the new agey people go. To Sedona, from what I understand. Now, although there's new agey people, and then there's freaky new agey people, and then there's batshit crazy new agey people. There are degrees of new agey people. The batshit crazy ones, I tend to steer clear of. I'm sorry, they're too freaky for me.
Seems to be a common thread among normal thinking people.
Yes, they're like the crazy new agey people. It depends on what they're, if they're crazy, or if they're just a little out there. If they're a little out there, I'm cool with that. But the regular new agey people, I'm pretty much one of them. I'm fine. But yeah, Sedona.
Oh my God, that just made me think of something. Thank you, Eddie, for saying that. Do you remember the aliens from The Simpsons
Mm-hmm.
who kept trying to take over the world? and possess our politicians.
They
Could that
succeeded.
even? The Simpsons have predicted so much. In our
He
season.
succeeded.
Have they succeeded?
Yes.
I'm Kang. Oh,
God. Yeah, the crazy do agey. I mean, it just depends on the degree of crazy. I don't know, but
I think that's just a good rule for life in general. People are cool in varying degrees.
yeah.
The crazier
yeah.
they get, the less cool.
If they're crazy fun, that's okay. If they're crazy, like,
Just crazy. No.
yeah, like, no, then it's like, good rule of thumb is to say, I think I'm going to avoid you. I'm just going to step over here and you stay over there and I'll stay over here and everything will be fine in between.
be like standing in line at the convenience store while the drug is trying to talk to you. You're just like,
yeah, it's like you stay over there and I'll stay over here and buy my shit and then I'll leave and you will continue to stay where you are and everything will be fine.
There's a simple solution for that one. Just wear AirPods. You
Yeah.
don't even have to have them plugged into anything. Just wear them and you can just pretend you don't hear anything.
That would be my son. Oh, because he wears them all the time. And when I pick him up from work and we're coming home and I'm talking, because I like to talk. And I've been seeing him, how's your day, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll get on a subject and I'll talk. And I think he's listening to me. He's not. I'm just talking to, circular breathe and to hear myself talk. And finally, I just said, forget it. I give up. Shit. He's like, Mom, I hear you talk all the time. Why do I need to hear you talk now? I'm like, okay, point taken. Damn. Whatever. He told me one time, he's like, Mom, I love you, but go talk to your internet friends. I said, shit, fine.
That's what we're here for.
I know. He's like, please go talk to your internet friends. I'm busy. I'm doing something. Okay.
yeah.
They know. Mom has a life online now.
And it's funny because it used to be looked down upon, and now it's commonplace.
It is. All of, well, I will say not all, my kids and my parents, my brothers, my family, but we're so spread out, But the most important people in my life I have met online.
Yeah. I saw nothing. I said nothing.
You know me, y'all. I'm never short on words. Even if they're airless words, they're still words.
Oh, man.
I never meet a stranger.
Yeah, it's like you said,
definitely not.
it's like some of the most important people in my life are now my online friends.
Yeah.
Or actually my online family.
Yeah. And
Because I have just a close knit of people in my real life, in my physical life.
Yeah.
That I'm
like
around
that
and stuff like that. But yeah, in my digital life, and it's going to be, we're going to meet here in a few weeks. So.
Because I won't lie. I mean, when I turn off the computer at night and I go do my thing, sometimes I get lonely.
Yeah. I
get lonely because y'all are all here. And it's like, well, shit, I'm by myself again. My son's off doing his thing. My daughter's living in Indiana. My parents are doing their thing. My brother's out in Washington State doing their thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel alone. And I don't like to feel alone. I know I need to. I felt alone for a year and a half. That shit sucked ass. I never want to go back there again.
That same thing happens in the quote unquote real world as well.
Yeah.
Among regular people. You just happen to live on their own now.
Yeah.
You get that feeling of, I want to go and be sociable, but everyone's gone to bed. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Either they're streaming, they've gone to bed, they're doing something, and then when you get the different time zones involved.
Oh, tell me about it.
Then it's really complicated, and it's like shit.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
when you're
yeah.
trying to stream at a time that's compatible with all your friends in all the different time zones, it's like, I
Mhm.
don't want to stay up that fucking late.
Well, it's like with Shield Maidens, we've got Starry-Eyed Girl and Louise Sparrow. They're both in the UK. So Arlena and I had to make sure that the time that we could stream was okay for when they could stream, because they're 5 hours ahead of us. And we worked it
Oh,
out.
no.
But yeah, you got to take things like that into consideration.
No shit, Eddie. Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. When are you going up? That's cool, man.
Oh, and Mary, I will.
She might be streaming and no one's on. Yeah, dude. Same, Ted. And it's like
Yeah.
I'll be just the dogs will wake me up, and it's like I'm awake
Mhm.
while they're outside doing their thing, and it's like throw on YouTube and see who's streaming. Or usually
Yeah.
I just watch a pre-recorded video by somebody, another one of somebody else I'm sub to.
Mhm.
But if somebody's live streaming, like if Steven's running a late night, it's like click.
Yep. Exactly. But yeah, Mary, I will do that. I've been sleeping a little better, but my God, there was like 2 or 3 weeks there where it was almost every night I had insomnia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm laying there staring at the ceiling going, shit, I want to sleep. But the more I wanted to sleep, the more my brain would stay awake. And finally I'd get up and I hate that. I hate getting up in the middle of the night just because I can't sleep. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So, but I've been doing a little better with that.
Well, Carol's got a question for you, Jester.
Well, I've always wanted to go to the States. It's just at the moment I don't have a passport, and they're a little bit tricky to get hold of in the UK.
Oh, that sucks.
Plus, I kind of need a sugar mama or a sugar daddy. I'm open to either to help pay my way. I'm broke.
All right, y'all, we're putting out the call: sugar daddy or sugar mama for Jester to get him a passport. All right.
Somebody
I'm here
get
for
hold of
all that,
Az.
dude.
Somebody get hold of Az since he lives near him.
Yeah,
See if Az will sponsor a trip to the States.
I gotta get mine done too. I've got it.
Jester
got it in
Sim
the
trip to
works,
the United States, sponsored by Az.
There you go.
Where you got wear Az around your necklace or around your neck, like Flavor Flav wears a clock.
I'll do it.
Picture
I'll
of
do it.
Az's head.
Big ol' ass face.
Yeah, Az face.
Ass face.
Oh my
Yeah, I'll
god.
do it. I'll do it. Give me that necklace. I'll wear Az.
I'll wear ass.
I'll do it proudly.
His ass.
What is your Jester wearing this autumn?
Who designed your ass?
Well, that is a
Jester.
sin.
Right?
Oh my God.
But yeah, I would love to go to the States at some point. I've got a lot of friends all over the country that I'd
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to go and be able to visit for a couple of days and just go, hey, how you doing? Finally, we
Yeah,
get to
that'd be
actually
awesome.
speak.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd love to go see the last Blockbuster. Still in business.
Just if you come to the South, bring some cool clothing because depending on when you come, it gets miserably
Oh,
hot
even in
here.
the winter.
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
if I'm going to the South, I wouldn't be attempting to get in anything.
That's a nice ass.
Yeah. I mean, our snowstorms are probably like a good frost for y'all. Definitely a good frost for Canada. The
We usually
snowstorms
have
in the South.
about a week of ice, and the rest of the time it's just chilly.
Mhm.
Now, last year was a
Um,
fluke, and we had an actual winter storm that lasted
Did
for
y'all?
several weeks. Yeah, didn't you hear? It's all over the news. A bunch of hundreds of people in Texas
Oh
The
yeah, I
power
did.
was
Okay,
out.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
because of a corporate conglomerate called ERCOT, who controls the power in Texas. None of them live in Texas, but they control our power grids,
Oh, that's
and they turned them
Okay.
off.
oh
And
lovely.
people fucking died from that shit. They got off scot free.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had weeks of snow and ice. I had to work in it every fucking day. I didn't get a day off, and I didn't get to stay home. Other people, there was 3 of us in the county that I'm in. 2 of them stayed in a hotel room a couple of towns over so they could go babysit this one water plant to keep them running and up in water. I had everything else on this side of the county. 3 weeks.
Wow.
That was a fucking nightmare. But I mean, I don't know, 6-8 years, we have a bad winter. Sometimes it goes a little longer, but yeah, it did go a little longer because between 09, it was 07 or 09, I think it was 07, we got down to like -9 degrees. And
that's cold for the South.
Yeah,
that for the South, that is cold.
I'm out there, trying to or chip the ice out of a wellhead or water well. I had to take the top of it off. I'm sitting there with a giant pick or a probe with a torch trying to melt the ice so we could get water. Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, Northerners laugh at us Southerners because when we get any kind of inclement weather, we don't know how to handle it. But the
for the most part, no.
We rarely get it like that. So when it happens, we're not prepared for it because it wouldn't make sense to put chains on our tires every winter or salt everything down because it's just not our daily or yearly experience. Yeah. And when it happens, it fucks us up.
Yeah.
It does.
It does. It really does. And up north, they're like,
although I love it. I love
You're used to
weather. Yeah, they are. They're used
Chris,
to it.
No, we don't have snow plows down here.
No, we don't.
We have dump trucks that release salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got gritters.
Salt trucks.
We don't have anything major over here either. It's just pretty much the same. Whenever it ices over, the whole country just grinds to a halt.
Yeah, and
no one's going nowhere.
The opposite is funny too. When it gets above like 85 degrees up north, they're like, "Oh God, it's so hot." And we're just like, "Bitch, please."
Yeah, 85. But a lot of places don't have air
degrees, then come
conditioners.
to me.
Yeah, up north, there's some places where they don't need it. It's unnecessary. Like when I moved to England, I lived in England for a while. I was so surprised that there were no air conditioners, but then I saw why.
Oh, they're starting to get necessary now.
I've heard that. I've heard that the weather has been so damn warm. But yeah, just here in the South, when you get a house or an apartment or a trailer or anything, that shit usually comes with central AC, and if it doesn't, it comes with a window unit. You have to have air conditioning in the South. You will not survive a summer comfortably without it. You just won't. But
yes,
I
Chris,
like
we're
4
London,
seasons. I want 4 full-fledged seasons. That's what I crave.
Except we are hot and no rain.
Mm-hmm. And Texas is even hotter, I think, than Georgia. Now, Georgia gets hot, but...
However, we're not dry. It
makes
no sense.
No.
We run average 70% humidity year-round.
Yeah. We're not dry either.
And when it's 110 degrees outside and it's 7% humidity, fuck me, dude.
You're drenched.
Feels like the sun is just going, what's up, dude?
Yeah, the humidity sucks.
It's insufferable, man. It is insufferable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's the humidity. That's a killer.
Yes. Pacific Northwest is more like London because you're closer to the same latitude or longitude.
Both my brothers live not in Seattle, but in that area, and they have a lot of the rain, a lot of precipitation. And see, I love rain. I got used to it living out in England. I love it.
Hell yeah, Ted, you damn right.
True that.
We use snow shovels down here for hay, for shoveling hay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's the only reason we have snow shovels in Texas is for hay. But man, last year we used them for snow. First time.
Mm-hmm. And you can always tell when the weather is shifting between summer and autumn because you've got your air conditioning running like it normally does when it gets really, really cold in your house at night, like super cold. when that air's
Yes.
running, but it's cooler outside, then that's how you can tell the weather is starting to shift.
Yep.
Is when you get
when it goes
super
from summer
cold.
to fall, and then from winter to spring.
Yeah.
You're running your heater in the morning, your air conditioner in the afternoon.
That's true. And then sometimes at night.
Oh.
You run the heater at night.
Sorry, Mayhem.
Got
I saw you
bipolar
earlier.
weather.
I was going to thank you for being here and saying, hey, I did not mean to ignore it. Because yes, there's usually more of us here. And I meant to do that, but if you've watched us, you know that I get distracted. And if Arlena's not here, I'm missing shit. So I am sorry. I even missed Zach out saying howdy, y'all.
Oh, hang on. Let me try something.
What are you trying?
All right, I help keep you on track. Okay, I forgot I could do that.
You still have power?
I do. I still have power. I'm sitting here reading the chat too. So I'll there we go. Here, let's do another one. Hey, look, there's a squirrel.
yeah, exactly.
Right. I'll help keep you on track.
Hey, and it's funny, Ted, because you talked about it so much. I thought you still lived here until I think it was about 6 months ago. Until you mentioned something about where you're living now. I was like, oh, okay. Or no, I think I'd said we need to meet up and have a beer sometime.
I do, Chris.
Yeah. And now that she's rediscovered it, fuck me. I cannot. It's like when Arlena gets click happy. I can't do shit. I'm just got to sit here and just do this.
I just keep your hands
Sit
on
here
it.
and twiddle
Just
my
smack,
thumbs.
smack, smack. Keep your hands away. We'll do it. We got it.
Because we'll click the same comment at the same time and it'll just flash real quick and go away.
Didn't we do that when Loki came in one time and y'all clicked him in, I clicked him in, and we were clicking him in and out? It was like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah. But again, Mayhem, I'm sorry for missing your comment. Thank you for being here. And yeah, chat more often. Like to get to know you. Especially that way I can kind of make up for ignoring you. I'm sorry.
We don't bite.
I am sorry. Yeah. Sometimes. And if I stay packed too long, I catch fire. Just like hay.
Just like hay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all tell me, okay, since we were talking in the back room and it is October and it is the witchy season, do y'all have any personal paranormal stories that you're comfortable sharing? Shelling. I was going to say shelling. Sharing.
Go ahead, Jester.
No, I was just going to say I really wish I did, but I don't.
Hey, Mac.
I have never had any sort of encounter like that. I've always been slightly envious of those that have.
Well, some of them have not been pleasant. But I've never come across a, quote unquote demon or entity or nothing like that. It's just all been benign. But some of it has scared the absolute shit out of me. It turned me whiter than I am. I mean, I was as white as my hat. I had no color, no pigment in my skin. I was almost clear. I was so white. No, I had, and I'll never forget it. I had an experience when I was 3 years old. And I'll never, ever forget it because it made me believe, in a way, for lack of a better phrasing, it made me believe in the occult. At 3 years old. Because I had never watched a TV show, because I talked to my mom about it. I had an experience. Well, okay, I know I started that story, but I didn't mean to go into it. I was going to skip it because it's like too sensational. A lot of people don't believe it. But when I was 8 years old, you know how when you have a dream and you sit up in bed real fast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you always have the fear of something under your bed?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was 8 years old. I guess I had a bad dream because I don't remember the dream, but I woke up, sat straight up in bed, saw the torso, shoulders, and head of a shadow looking at me, and then dipped under my bed at the foot. Chills.
Ew, I'm getting them now.
I'm getting them.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yes.
What did you do?
That was my first, well, my second experience. I didn't move. I covered up and I did not move, but I didn't close my eyes again either. I was like, as long as my eyes are open, it can't get me. And I believed that, and nothing got me. Though, you know how when you feel something's looking at you?
Yes.
I had that.
Yes. Uh-huh. I know
The rest of
feeling.
that, I had it. It was sitting there fucking watching
Oh,
me.
oh, God. I got to sleep alone tonight. But
Oh,
Shit.
awesome one. There's a thought. Oh,
No, oh my God.
okay.
Hell yeah, Zach Rott. Hell yeah.
All right. This kind of, Daryl, this is going to wig you out then a little bit.
Takes a lot to wig me out. Go ahead.
My husband and I came home one night. We were at a coffee house, and this was actually when we were in church.
Was it
Years
a
ago.
Starbucks?
No.
Okay,
It was, not,
okay.
it was like a
Okay.
mom and pop coffee shop.
That's close. You almost freaked me out on that.
We're not hipsters. I mean, you know, I will get Starbucks coffee, but I don't go hang out at Starbucks with my laptop and my, you know, pretentious bullshit. No,
and your
we
leather
were just,
bound folder. Yeah. Ugh.
yeah, I'm not organized for that. But anyway, we came home and we went and we opened the screen door, and then he opened the lock or undid the lock, whatever the hell. And he opened the door, and all of a sudden it was about not quite as tall as a grown man, but not too much shorter than a woman. I'm 5'5", and it was a little shorter than me, but it wasn't much shorter than that. But it was like crouched over, and it was this dark shadow darted out of our house. And we both stopped, and we looked at each other, and I said, "Did you see that?" And he said, "Oh my God, I was going to ask you the same thing. Did you see that?" And it was humanoid, but it was a shadow. And the minute we got it, you know, and we had been at basically, it was like a church retreat. It was a church night where we're singing and praising God, and we're, you know, just having a good old wholesome time.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute we opened that door and went to step inside, that thing shot out of our front door like crazy. And it was tangible and real enough that we could have reached out and touched it, and we both saw it.
Oh, wow.
And there was nothing in that coffee but coffee, y'all. It was just regular coffee. But
Well,
yeah,
getting the old sauce.
it was a dark shadow, and it was like
Yeah.
a humanoid of smoke is what it looked like.
Hey, what's up, Roaring?
Hey, Valiant.
How you doing? Good to see you, brother.
But I'm gonna share something with y'all that I shared with Daryl and Jester backstage.
I got another one after you get done.
Okay, this was about 2-3 months after my husband had passed away. And I kind of lived in his office for a while because that was where he spent most of his time, and that's where I was most comfortable. If it had a bed in there, I would have slept in it. But I was sitting there and I was watching something. I may have been a cat video on YouTube. Who the hell knows? And I heard someone come down the stairs, or not down the stairs. I'm sorry, down the hallway. And my son's room is directly across from the office. So I'll hear him, you know, stomp, stomp, stomp down the hallway. And he has a very, very heavy walk. And, you know, I usually hear him, I don't even have to look. I'll hear him open his bedroom door and go in and close it and do his business. Well, I heard footsteps come down the hallway, and I just assumed I was going to hear my son's door open and he was going to go in his room. Well, after the footsteps came down the hall, I heard in the office doorway, as clear as a bell, my husband's voice go, "Hey, baby." And I looked up, my head snapped up, and I looked, and I expected to see him standing there. I was more surprised not seeing him standing there because his voice was so clear and so concise, and that was it. There was nothing there. And I've had people say, oh, well, you were just grieving, or you were in a fog, yes, I was all those things, but that was real. That shit was real. It was unexpected. It wasn't like I was sitting there, mooning, wanting to hear his voice, thinking about it. That's what it was. And, he died in this house. So I don't know. I mean, you make of it what you will. I was not my imagination. It was an external sensation. It was not in my mind. It was not in my head. I actually heard him say that. So I don't know. I mean, when it comes to the paranormal, I'm one of those who wants to believe. I don't know how much I believe, but I want to believe, if that makes any sense.
It completely does, because I feel the same way. There's so much out there, so many anecdotal stories, and some of them go back many hundreds of years. It's been such a consistent thing throughout human history. To not think there is something beyond what we know feels a bit arrogant.
Yeah,
I mean,
very much so. Yeah,
That's why I'm a bit envious of people like yourselves who've had experiences, because you've kind of had some proof. Might not be anything you can prove to anyone else, but you've had some personal proof.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if anyone believes it or not. I know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nothing will ever change my mind about that. My childhood experiences. I had another one where I actually saw one.
Oh.
Full detail, full color. It was back in 06. Yeah, I think it was 06. I was still with my ex-wife at the time. And she had a computer desk in the bedroom, and I'm asleep, and she's sitting there playing on her computer. And I wake up and look over, and her grandmother, whom I never met. Did you ever see Paranormal Activity, where it shows the people just standing there staring?
Yes. Ooh, that's so creepy.
That's what she was doing.
Wow.
But I described her. I never met this woman. And I described her clothes in detail. And my ex-wife said that's what she was buried in. And I saw pictures of her grandmother, so I knew she was a redhead and a kind of a short, stout lady. Mm-hmm. But I described in detail the shirt she was wearing, the blouse. And I said, she was watching you. And I saw her. I sat up, I looked over, saw her standing there just watching. And then I blinked and she was gone.
That is unnerving as shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, even though it was with my ex-wife, I've lived in the same 1 mile radius for the past 30 years.
Uh-huh.
I've moved like 4 times, but it's still within the mile radius. So yeah, the Ghost Hunters TV show is pretty cool. Why do I hear myself? I don't like that. Sunday. Okay, it's gone. Usually when I can hear myself echoing, I gotta do, Sunday, Monster Truck Madness. It's a red.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've always been, like I said, I've never been, a sensitive, not a clairvoyant or nothing like that. I don't claim to be. And, people ask me, or I've talked to people about it, and they say, well, why don't you, tell, everybody about this, you can do stuff. And I was like, no, it's not consistent.
And sometimes it's personal. Sometimes it's personal. It's like you don't need to broadcast it to, like that thing that happened with my husband is different to me. I don't mind sharing it with y'all because I've been very open about his sickness and his death, and also I'm comfortable. But it's not something that I might just, if I'm in a crowd of people that I've never known. Oh, guess what happened to me? Blah, blah. Now my bathtub turning on whenever it does that shit. That's a little different, but I don't know who the hell keeps turning on my bathtub. It hasn't happened for a while, but when it happens,
maybe it's your husband going, dude, Skank, you need a bath.
Well, then he needs to learn to turn on the damn hot water too. It's always damn cold water.
Maybe you need to cool down.
Hot water, and maybe I do. He always just said my red roots run deep. So
Chris,
like,
that
if,
is
or when
freaky.
you got a little bit of a temper buried deep inside you, maybe, who knows? But yeah.
She probably was, but I wasn't looking.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
Ew, y'all. Ew.
I know, it even makes me sick and talking about me. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit. You do not want to see this in the Speedo or less. No, it's funny. Last year, as a matter of fact, this time, I was cooking supper in the kitchen, and my wife was in the back side of the house farting around. I think she was cleaning the bathroom or something while I was cooking supper. So I'm sitting there cooking, and I felt a hand lay on this shoulder, just
Mhm.
and just whisper, "Hey." And I turn around and look, nobody there. And
Okay.
when we try
I
and
do
find each
question.
other in the house, we just say Marco, do the Marco Polo thing. I said Marco, and I didn't move. I just kept staring at my shoulder, going Marco. She went Polo. She was still at the other end of the house, but it was this time of year. And like I
See,
said,
but
we live
the
on old
veil,
Indian grounds, and
yeah.
it's busy this time of year.
But there's something about this time of the year now. Again, whether you believe in pagan tendencies or not, but there's there's belief that the veil between the natural world and the supernatural world is thinnest, and it comes to basically a fruition on between October 30th and November 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the pagan Samhain celebration and Sabbath feast of Samhain is kind of where we get our modern day Halloween, but they are two different things. They are very much two different things. Jack-o'-lanterns originally, I think they used to be turnips. They used to be carved in scary faces to drive demons away. Because once that veil is thin, then the supernatural can pass between the supernatural world and the natural world with ease.
Hogwarts Express.
Yep, y'all here at Hogwarts. Very appropriate.
You're a wizard, Arwen.
I'm a wizard. Chester.
Oh, that was great. Oh,
I'll
my
take
goodness.
it. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, whether it be, you call it harvest time, you call it reap, whatever you want to call it. I call it reap. I don't know why, I just always have. And then I read it in the book that he called it reap too. And I was like, oh, cool. Stephen King.
Yeah. It's also modern
Tower
day
City.
witches. It's like it's the new year. They
Yes.
don't go. I mean, yes, of course, wherever you're at, if you're a modern witch, you will you'll go by your country's calendar. And in the West, New Year's Eve is of course December 31st. New Year's Day is blah blah. But I'm talking a spiritual New Year.
How you doing, JP?
New Year's Eve is Samhain. It's that time of year.
Yeah. Woke up in the basement watching TV and went to go upstairs. Heard my folks call me in a dark furnace room. Call.
Oh
bet.
man!
Yeah,
Bet.
yeah, I had to run too.
Wow. Yeah, I don't do dark furnace rooms. I'm
That's
sorry.
cool. As long as it's not, the Exorcist theme or something like that. You're a wizard, Harry.
Now I do have one more. Now I did not directly experience these paranormal activities because I was only one. So if I did, I don't remember. But my mother and my brother did. I had 3 brothers at the time, and my youngest brother, who is 3.5 years older than me, he did. We were living out in Carroll City, and I don't know if it was California, Nevada. I don't know where the hell Carroll City was. I'd have to look it up. But I was about 1. We lived there for a very brief time. And my mom said it was this old house, and it had, it had like normal. It was like I think a 60s style home where it's kind of a ranch style. But she said there was this one hallway that led to a bathroom. This long ass hallway that led to, like a communal bathroom. with a
Mhm.
shower and everything. And she said it always looked dark and creepy in this hallway. No matter how many lights they had on in that hallway, it was always super, super dark. And it was it was an old house that had been modernized. So, hey, Arlena.
Hey, Elena.
And she said she would not ever use that bathroom.
Come on in. Get your ass in here.
Because it was creepy as fuck. Now, my dad would take showers in there, and, my brothers would use it, but she wouldn't. She would always go to the one that was in the master bathroom. And she said, they would, she particularly said she would hear footsteps. She would hear creakings, and my dad would be like, well, it's just an old house. It's been redone, but it's settling and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I don't know. We got this creepy ass hallway, this creepy ass bathroom. I'm hearing footsteps. I'm hearing creakings. Something's not adding up. I'm not really comfortable in this house. Nothing, boogabooed out at her, but she always felt unsettled. Well, she said one afternoon, she was waiting for my brothers to get home from school. And she would always take a nap about an hour before they got home. Because, with 4 kids, stay-at-home mom, I was a year. My brother, I think he was just in preschool. Then she had 8 years, then the 2 older boys. But we were all under 15. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So it was busy for her. Well, she laid down, and I was in my crib snoozing, and she laid down, and she heard somebody walk in the room and sit down on the bed with her. And she thought, well, maybe one of the boys came home early. And she opened her eyes, and there was a very slight indentation in the bed where someone was sitting there, but there was nobody there. And she said, fucking hell. She didn't say that. She was like, oh my goodness. And she got so scared that she went and woke me up and was walking around the house with me like a 1-year-old. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? She was walking around. And then it wasn't too long after that, there was a slight earthquake. There was a tremor. And my other brother, he woke up one night and he got scared. He got unnerved. He heard the tremor, but he got unnerved, and he came to the doorway and he looked down this creepy ass hall, and the figure of a man, an old man in a bed, materialized from one end of the hall, floated down the hall by him, and then disappeared in the other end. Well, he said he started freaking out. He went and he woke my parents. And then when he started telling the story, my mom, who had not shared her experiences with the kids because she didn't want to frighten them, she said to my dad, okay, that's it. Something is going on in this house. So they researched it and found out there was an old man who died about 2 years before in his bed in this home.
Ooh.
And then I think they moved like a month after that. She was like, fuck it, we're out. We are out. This is just getting too freaky, too weird. I'm not going to have no ghost man come sit down with me in my bed when I'm trying to take a nap. It ain't going to happen. Floating down the hall in his bed, scaring my son. No.
I don't even let a lot of live man sit down with me, motherfucker.
She was like, we are out. So I don't know. Who knows? That old man could have been cuckooing at me over my crib, and I could have been goo-gooing back at him. I don't know. I was a year old. I don't remember it. So even though my first memory was when I was 1, but it wasn't anything like that.
Yeah. I assume I was 3 at my first, experience, but I swear up and down I was 2. But, that age, it's kind of amazing that I remember anything, but I'll never forget it. I'll tell y'all backstage, but I'm not going to say it here because it's too outlandish.
Okay, fair enough.
But, I've had more experiences. Like I said, I live on old Indian ground, the Caddo Indians. Mm-hmm. So every year at this time, around October through about mid-November, it is super busy here. It's almost like a migration. There are so many that pass through here. Like I was saying backstage, my head stays clogged up. I have a headache all month long. And it's just, you see and hear shit all the time.
Yeah.
And Carol was saying that, it's weird that she thinks her cat's haunting her. No, it's not.
Huh.
After 6 months after
He
my
got
ex-wife's.
It does explain a lot, doesn't it?
Mm, it does. But yeah, one of my ex-wife's cats passed away. So it was like 1993 or 90. No. It was 95 because my son was just about a year old. And about 6 months after that cat died, he used to jump down off the dryer because his food bowl was on the dryer because we had a dog who would love to get in his food bowl no matter where we put it. So
Yeah.
on the dryer. And when the dryer was running, he'd get up and go to sleep.
Ooh, I bet he enjoyed
They-
that.
Oh, God, they do. It's like a car ride for a baby.
Uh-huh.
It's like, people say, take your baby in a ride with the car when they can't sleep. No, you just put them in the car seat and set them on the dryer.
Sit him on the dryer.
Mm-hmm. Same thing. I mean,
Rocks him to sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So vibration.
And it reminds them of when they're in the womb, they hear the blood flowing and mom's heart beating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a comfort. But I digress. So anyway, every time he would get done eating, he would jump down on the floor and he always made a certain thump. It was never just a regular. Wow. Shift my camera. It was always a. It
Yeah.
was never a single thud. It was always a double thud, where his feet were hitting the floor. And about 6 months after, I was walking through the house, shutting everything down for the night, walking past the laundry room, and I heard it. And I turned and looked, and there was nothing there because he's gone. That was the only cat we had.
Wow.
And I just look over there, and well. So yeah, I
Wow.
mean, yeah, animals.
Yeah.
Because I had a dog pass away about a month ago, and 3 days ago, her sister started freaking out, and she had a certain spot she laid in under the back porch, waiting to be led back in. She'd just go in there and lay down in the dirt. Well, Ford, her sister, kept wanting to go outside, and every time she'd go outside, she'd look in that spot for her sister.
Wow.
It's been weeks since her
Mhm.
sister's been gone, but it's just been the past few days. So
Yeah.
I think, she's seeing her sister.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start sleeping on top of the dryer. Oh, man.
Or 6, you can get those, what the hell are they? Those white noise apps. They actually have a dryer on there. You could cycle
Somebody
through.
had
They
one.
have either the one where the clothes are tumbling, or they have just the. Yeah,
Just,
you can
uh,
get those.
I don't
different
know, Arwen.
form.
I'm not sure if that's why women sit on tumblers.
Well, it is what it is.
I'm just saying. Even as a man, that's kind of pleasurable.
It reminds me of that old beeper commercial back in the 90s. And it just showed some dude sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden you heard the beeper going, reet, 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 and he's sitting there going. Then he pulls it out of his front pocket, calls the number, do it again, puts it back in his pocket.
Hey, a vibration's a vibration, right? I mean,
Hey.
depending on, doesn't matter where you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love those good vibrations.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
The Beach Boys are not wrong.
They're
No,
not
they're
wrong.
not.
But yeah, I mean, I still have experiences here and there, bumps and bangs and shit being knocked over and where there's no animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like things that shouldn't have fallen over that do. It's like, what the hell, man?
I mean, okay, stuff like that's pretty easy to debunk around here with 1,000 fucking cats. But every now and then something happens that or a noise will happen that gets their attention. And when the cats are all chilled out and you're sitting there, and then you hear something knock over in the living room and all the cats look up and they're like, what the hell was that? And it's none of them because they're all in the room with you.
Yeah.
It makes you go, ooh.
Yeah, when you have one animal looking up at a spot on the ceiling, tilting their head, you don't really think much of it. When you got 6 of them looking at the same spot, doing the same motion.
Yes.
That's when you're like, okay, something's there.
I will get freaked out if my cats start acting abnormally that way. Like if they're honed in, like you said, if it's not just one, but 10 are honed in on something down the hall, and they're all like, and it's not a bug because you go and look and you don't see anything, and you move in front of them and you're looking, where the hell are you looking? You turn around and they're paying no attention to you, and they all have that look on their face, not like, oh, it's something fun like a laser, or look, it's a little bug, but it's more like, what the hell are we looking at, Mom? Then it's like, what do y'all see? And no explanation for it.
Yeah.
So animals are watch your animals, y'all. Watch your animals.
Oh, yeah. That's why I have them.
Definitely.
Because not only can they tell you when something's there that you can't see, they're an early warning system.
Yes, they are.
For when something's about to happen.
Yeah. And see,
And they're good
I
protection.
believe that there are two kinds, if you will, hauntings, for lack of a better word. Experiences maybe is a better word. There are what I believe residual activities, whether it's an actual presence that's just going through the motions of whatever it was that they were going through, that they're not really intelligent, or if it's just the house has an energy, an imprint of a person left behind. Because have you ever gone in a house where you've either you've gotten really good vibes, or right away you've gotten really negative vibes, and it's like, shit, I'm not comfortable here, and it's got nothing to do with the people, it's got nothing to do with what's on TV, it's just something you can't explain, kind of sets your teeth on edge. That could be just an imprint of generations of people living there, and maybe some of those people not so nice. But I also believe what I call, or what I've heard call, I didn't name it, but what I've heard call intelligent hauntings, where they are aware of themselves and there is activity, interaction between you and them, whether they say anything to you or not, but they are aware of you and you are aware of them. And whether the presence is malignant or benevolent, that's for you to find out. But yeah, I think there's two kinds of that. But I don't know. I mean, that's all theory. It's all conjecture. It's all opinion. It's nothing's. That's why it's paranormal, because it can't be quantified. It can't be measured scientifically like we think things can. Although there are instruments that claim, they can capture voices and capture. Although the radio thing, I don't necessarily buy into. The spirit box where it's the radio frequency way, and they're going through there's too much room for error. And let's face it, when you believe in something, you can make anything seem like what you want it to seem like. So I don't know about those. Even some EVPs I've heard are extremely clear. But others where the ghost investigators tell you what they think it's saying, and it just so happens to go with what they want it to be. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I've definitely
I don't buy that
seen
shit.
some very sketchy EVP evidence. But there is some, but like you said, there is some of it that is extremely compelling. It's like, they haven't even said what they think it is, and I can tell you what that says.
Yeah, there's stuff that's clearly fake and stuff that's clearly, what the fuck did I just see?
Right. What did I just see? And even the investigators were like, we really have no explanation for this.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked Ghost Hunters, because they would go in and they would try and debunk and look for a scientific, reasonable explanation first.
You're talking about TAPS?
Yes, TAPS. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love those guys.
They would try and do that first, and they would approach it from a logical point of view. But then there were times, when they were stumped and they're like,
there was also times that it was proven that they made that happen. Like
TAPS? What?
Yeah. There was some of their stuff that was staged. Yes,
there was some of their stuff that was staged, and there was a few.
But
I think maybe one bad actor who was responsible for it all.
Yeah, I can't remember who was, but one of the producers of the show actually made him do it. just because there was nothing
Why?
happening. So they had to make something happen for the show.
No,
It was the
that's not
Stanley
what we
Hotel
want.
where the table jumped and moved while they were sitting at it,
That's
but the
no,
camera was
we-
at such a bad angle. But one of them, it was proven that one of their foot moved the table. They
Oh, but they didn't set out to fake it, did they?
no, I mean, well, that's suspect. But anyway,
Okay.
one of the ones they did not fake was when they were down. I think it was in Louisiana at a place that.
I agree, Carol. I agree.
Oh yeah, and that the chick that always went at everything. God, she aggravated me so much. I just wanted to drown her. Anyway,
Was it? Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
we had
Carol.
to share
Go
that
ahead.
category.
yeah, Ghost Adventures. Yeah, that chick was just so annoying. It's like, oh, let's play a game where we put you under the water till the bubbles stop. So anyway, one of the ones they did not fake was they went down to a place down, I think it was Louisiana, a hotel, where they were down in the basement and there was this old locker. And they had the camera, the thermal camera on the locker because it had a number 2 on it and the 2 was going hot. Just the number was. And they opened the locker and there were shelves in it and it was like really tiny. But when they filmed it with one of the Imager cameras, it had a Confederate soldier and they're kind of sideways doing this. Or he had his head up and then he just bowed his head down like that. And you could tell it was a Confederate uniform. But there was no way
Wow.
a human could fit inside that locker. It was so tiny.
Oh,
But you
my
saw the image of a
goodness.
soldier in there and it was, oh God, it was so good.
Wow.
And here's some more.
Oh, Gret Sox knows. She's like, oh
Yeah. Yeah, that was freaky. It was good. Let me show you this. Basic candle holder made out of glass,
That's pretty,
kind of like a disco ball.
sparkly.
This
I
was
like
on a mantle, which is 5.5 foot off the ground, right above concrete slab stone. That's at the foot of my fireplace.
Mm.
Cats have no access to that because my TV has been in front of it and we have pictures on both sides. This sat in the middle of the mantle.
it. Okay.
2 days ago, found this upside down on the concrete behind the TV, undamaged. Had it fallen that far and done that, it would have shattered. But it was upside down. There is a chip out of it. But where it sat on the mantle, it was not slid.
There's no
'Cause
way
I
it
haven't-
could have.
I haven't dusted
Yeah,
the mantle.
yeah.
So the circle is still there that was around this, and there is no slide marks. It
I was going to
picked up.
say, if it had slid, you would have seen it in the dust.
Yes.
Oh.
Told you, it's busy around here this time of year. And sometimes they like to
Wow.
mess with us. But, you know, it's all benign. There's nothing, nothing bad. So we just accept it. It's like
See,
this
what
is
I-
just,
what I find
it's kind of like a
interesting
migration spot.
Is the
I don't know if it's a way
similarities
station or what.
between stories. Okay, like my parents' house has a lot of activity. Nothing spooky, nothing scary, but
It was called
their
Ghost
house,
Hunters.
Civil War era.
It was on Discovery Channel.
Well, shit happens all the time. Well, my dad said about 3 weeks ago, he's got
Oh,
this.
don't get me thinking about that one. That was a damn good movie.
It's I don't know why I'm just brave. Oh, and it's an airplane. He has this airplane where the front of the plane is a clock. It's the face of a clock. And it's heavy. This thing is like, you pick it up. It feels like heavy pewter. It's not pewter, but that's what it feels like. And it's about, I don't know, maybe the wingspan's about 8 inches and then the body of the plane's about 6. So it's a substantial clock. It could be like paper. It's like heavy paperweight, kind of hefty. Well, in his library, he sits in his recliner and he built these shelves. They're attached to the walls and it's sitting on, I think about maybe the 6th shelf up from the ground, these little shelves. And he looks at it every night. He looks up and he looks, and that's why he could tell what time it was. Their cat can't get up there. She's too fat. She's just, fat little princess cat. She doesn't mess with the shelves. She could not get up there. And She couldn't move this damn thing if she tried. It's heavy. It is hefty. Well, he looked up one night, like he always does. He looks up to look at the time. And the thing was upside down on its face. It was the clock. The clock part was facing, was on the bottom of the shelf, and the thing was sticking straight up.
Wow.
Weird.
And he asked my mom, and she's like, he said, "Did you move the clock?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "The plane." She's like, "No, why?" And he said, I need you to come here and see this because I think I'm losing my mind. And she was like, "How did that happen? I didn't do it. It wasn't our cat." Like how, she did get up there. She, one, she couldn't move it, but two, at most she would have nudged it to the side. She's not going to pick it up with non-opposable thumbs and stick it up on its end. And he said the same thing kind of happened in the bedroom one night. He woke up to look at his clock, and something had taken his clock, moved it on the other side of his lamp, and turned it to where the time was facing the wall. Shit like that happens to them all the time. And it's not them doing it. It is not their little prissy fat cat. So who knows?
Yeah.
Shit just
Well,
gets
it's like,
moved like that.
I said about this. Well, not only was there no scuff marks where it slid, there were no paw prints either.
So it wasn't one of
So-
your animals.
No.
Things that
And
make
the
you
wife was the one that found it.
Uh-huh.
So I knew she didn't do it 'cause she asked me if I knocked it over. And it's like, "Oh, dadgum, cats knocked this over." And I was like, "I don't think so." But
Yeah,
uh,
trippy.
the witching hour.
That's what they say.
Yep.
Although here's a trick question, or not really a trick question, but what is the true witching hour?
It depends your time zone.
No, it doesn't. What is the true witching hour? Everybody says it's midnight. Is it midnight? What is it?
No. It's between 2 and 3 a.m.
Think about it.
Here,
What did
it's
they?
between 2 and 3 a.m.
What did they used to say though? The witching hour. It was the what hour?
If I remember right, it was 6 p.m.
Well, it used to be called
The
the
original
13th hour, which comes after 12 o'clock.
13.
1 o'clock.
13 o'clock.
So the 13th hour is technically 1 o'clock
Mhm.
after midnight. Now that
See?
may not really mean anything. I just think that's kind of interesting because I used to think witching hour was 12 o'clock, but then I read that it was actually the 13th hour, which
Yeah,
is
but the 13th
1 o'clock
hour is
after
kind of like a
midnight.
baker's dozen, you know?
What? No, how? Shut up, Daryl. It is not.
Sure it is. A baker's dozen is 13.
Yeah.
It's actually 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Squeak up. Because it has to be
Hey,
at
Squeak
night.
Up.
It has to be in the dark. Otherwise, it's not spooky. Ooh, the witching hour is at 12 noon.
Technically, yes. 13.
I mean,
that's why I
by
said 13
military
o'clock,
time,
which is
but
1
I'm talking
p.m.
about ancient time before they did military time.
Yep.
Back in medieval times and it was a little more,
Happy to
the
help.
witchy stuff was a little more prevalent. The 13th hour. I know, 6, I'm getting creeped out too. I'm like, I got to sleep alone tonight. This shit sucks.
Nah, it's all good.
Well, who of my friends am I going to call to keep my scared ass settled down in the middle of the night? I better start going
That's when
through
you
my-
watch something like a home improvement show on YouTube.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you just watch people cutting wood and putting up walls and shit. You'll be asleep in no time.
Yeah.
Either that or watch some Bob Ross.
Oh yeah, I can highly recommend some Bob Ross. All those happy little trees.
Happy
Oh,
little
yeah.
trees.
And then watch them turn into
Listen
Deadpool
to the little
and
sounds
then
they make.
death. Mm. Ouch.
Oh yeah, love me some Bob Ross when I can't sleep.
Oh yeah. Bob Ross is like visual classical music.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very much.
Just very relaxing and
Like
just
really chilled.
Yeah.
True Black Dragon.
people think I'm funny because
wait.
not haha funny,
Happy trees.
but it's like weird funny because I listen to heavy metal, I listen to rock, I listen to country, and I listen to classical. I have a wide variety of music that I like.
Mm-hmm.
What in the absolute hell are you doing?
Oh, crushing a can.
You
Sorry,
guys say,
I
you
realized-
practicing for something? You crushing a can against your forehead?
Crush-
I'm
no,
practicing for NASCAR.
in my hands. Listen.
You show that can, he's boss.
Yeah,
Hell
damn
yeah.
it. I'm boss. Shotgun
But
can.
you know, there is a haunted hotel probably about 30 minutes away from where we're going to be in Arlington.
Ooh. Let's do it. Let's go.
That's in well, maybe about 30, 40 minutes.
Oh,
It's in
okay.
Mineral Wells. It's a hotel in Mineral Wells, Texas. Look who's here.
Yay!
Hello there.
Hey, Elena.
Hey, partner, how you doing,
Hey.
buddy?
All right, all right.
That's
I'm
good.
sorry I didn't tell you about Jester. I didn't think you were going to be up for the show today.
Well, I kind of wasn't at first, and then I was like, yeah, let me peep in and see what they're doing. And I was like, yeah,
Scary
oh,
stories.
yeah, that's right up my alley.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Yeah. No, everything's good. Everything's good. I've just had to process. So, did you tell the chat what was going on?
Nope.
Okay.
I just said you had some family stuff going on.
So I just learned that my dad has stage 4 cancer. Um, but he's 80 years old. He's lived a good long life. My dad and I have settled any differences that we've had in the past, which mostly stem from teenage years. You know, teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard when you lose a parent. He's still here, but you know, I just think how many times Arwen has told us about her husband, and they gave him what, like 6 months with stage 4. My dad has stage 4, and he could live another 3 years like your husband did. So,
With do you know? Do they know what kind it is?
oh boy, liver, colon, possibly other places, not sure.
That sounds like Robert.
Mm-hmm.
They actually gave him. Now, to be fair, though, my husband was much younger than your father.
Mm-hmm.
They said if he responded to treatment, blah 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 blah. If it was 2 years, but he did live 3. So yeah, your dad could.
Yeah,
We don't know. We don't know.
we don't.
That's
We
just-
don't.
We don't.
It's when your name is written in the book and the good Lord calls you home. That's when you're going.
That's it.
We have
Yep.
no control over that. There's 2 guarantees in life: that taxes and death.
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much.
So, you know, inevitably, we all know it's coming. Like I said, my dad is 80. This isn't entirely unexpected. Um, yeah, it's still hard to deal with because it's my dad, but
Of course.
you
of
know,
course.
I'll get through it and fight through it, and it'll all be good in the end. You know, I'm
Mhm.
definitely not looking forward to it, but you know, my dad's tough, man. My dad is tough. He could pull through this for another year. The only thing that I'm praying for, and I would appreciate if y'all pray for it too, is that A, he doesn't suffer,
Mhm.
and B, that he doesn't pass during the holidays, because that is the worst.
Absolutely.
Understand.
That's it.
Okay.
Or on my birthday. That would be really bad.
Because
Yeah.
those times are gonna, let's talk real, they're gonna be difficult enough as it is
Yeah, exactly.
whenever he passes. But yeah, but you still got time with him and make the
Oh,
most
yeah.
of that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, like I said, my dad and I have made amends for the past, and we're in good standings.
That's
So,
awesome. That's
mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Every day.
But
here's a blessing.
yeah. But you know, and we don't talk religion a lot, or faith a lot, but Arwen and I are both apostolic Pentecostal, so we know what awaits for us, and it's very
Mhm.
bright.
Mhm.
So
Is it so bright you got to wear shades?
Man, shades won't even cut it.
Nah, we don't need no stinking shades where we're going. We don't need no shades.
We don't need no stinking badges. Shit, and I'm about to put on my sombrero.
But y'all are talking creepy
sounds horrible.
stories, man. I freaking. How many times have you and I talked about this, Arwen?
Oh, it's like one of our favorite
Oh
subjects.
gosh, yes,
Well,
I love
I'm-
this time of year. I freaking.
I'm kicking
love
off the. Even though I've had the channel for over a year, I'm starting to put more stuff on the horror channel.
It. Oh,
Nice.
awesome,
So let's do it.
awesome. Yeah, y'all were sharing stories about creepy stuff that happened. I think I might have told you, Daryl, and maybe Arwen. I don't remember, but we had just moved from the house that I had known my entire life.
I know this story.
Yeah, my grandfather had built the house, and there was a falling out between my dad and his sister, so we had to move from the house. If I ever reference my dad's sister, you guys will always notice I say my dad's sister, not my aunt, because I don't know her. So she's not my aunt. But we had just moved into the house. I was like 10, 11 years old. And my bedroom was upstairs. It was a Cape Cod style home built in the 1940s. And the upstairs was all open. Very beautiful house. And I got my room pretty much all together. You know, I collected unicorns when I was a little girl because unicorns were magical and they were awesome. And so I had all of my unicorn collection on my my chest of drawers. So I had a chest of drawers and I had a dresser with a mirror. So my unicorn collection was on both. And my chest of drawers was in the longer part because it was all one big room upstairs. So of course it was Cape Cod style. It was a longer one way and then shorter the other way. So my chest of drawers was on the longer part, and I go to bed, and I'm just at that point where you're just about to fall asleep, but you're not quite asleep yet. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
That's cool.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I hear this crash on the opposite side of the room. I popped up out of my bed. And I was so scared. I'm like, okay, I've got to get up to see what that was, but I'm really scared too. But I get up out of my bed and I turn every light on that I possibly can because I'm like 10 or 11 years old. I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
And I go across the other side of the room where I heard the crash happen. And there's my little unicorn jewelry box that was sitting on my chest of drawers. And I know it was sitting on my chest of drawers because I used to wear strawberry. I was a tomboy, but I was girly too. Okay. I was more tomboy than girly, but I had strawberry shortcake jewelry. And I always wore my strawberry shortcake ring and necklace. Not always the earrings, but I always kept them in that jewelry box. So I knew it was where it was sitting because I had taken off my ring and my necklace and put it in the jewelry box before bed. And it's all scattered across the floor over there. My jewelry box is broken. I'm all upset and I'm creeped out at the same time. So I go downstairs and my mom and dad are already in the bed. So I just slept at the foot of their bed on the floor that whole night.
I don't blame you. I would too.
My mom gets up in the morning and she almost trips over me and she's like, "What the hell are you doing down here?" And I'm like, "I had something really scary happen last night." And she's like, "Well, what happened?" And I told her what happened and she's like, "Oh, it was nothing, you know." And I found out later that my mom had some stuff creepy like happened to her too. But you know, she's trying to encourage me because I'm 10 or 11 years old and she doesn't want me sleeping downstairs every night at the end of their bed. So she's just trying to
Yeah.
comfort me and encourage me, and she went upstairs with me, and my dad went upstairs with me because I'm like, dad's big and strong and he can beat up anybody, so if there's a ghost, my dad's gonna beat up the ghost.
Yep. That comfort of the known.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And so we go up there and we clean it all up, and my mom just is like, well, it could have just been a freak accident. We don't know what happened. Just, if it happens again, come downstairs and wake me up. Don't sleep at the end of the bed. I think my mom was scared that if her and my dad had sex, I'd be down there and hear it,
That you come out.
which would have been more traumatizing than a ghost.
I'm
I'd
not
have
fucking
been
searching the ghost.
upstairs and
Fuck
dealing
y'all.
with the ghost. I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
But
Oh
that
my
was the
God.
first experience that I ever had at 10 or 11 years old, and it freaked me out. And like that, just you don't forget stuff like that. You don't forget stuff like that.
Right.
I've had some creepy things happen to me, and what's really strange is when I turned 16, um, I was a mother at 16. I was a young mother, but I I started this. It's kind of hard to explain because I was tapping into the spiritual world, um, becoming more faithful, drawing nearer to the Lord, and I, I had a lot of things open up to me, so to speak. Um, I actually could sense when someone was going to pass away. I would have a very specific dream about that person, and I would have this overwhelming feeling to go see them. And one occurrence, I actually saw that person right before or as they were passing. So it was a little creepy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had very different things, and I've been told that I am sensitive. So when I go, there's been houses that I haven't rented because when you walk into the house, I could feel a not so pleasant presence within the
Mm-hmm.
dwelling.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I always do when I move into an apartment, a house, whatever it is even if it feels good and it feels cleansed, I first thing I do is I will sage it, and I will pray as I'm saging, and go through scripture as I'm saging, and it that completely cleanses the house. And let me tell you, I've lived in
Mm-hmm.
some doozies of houses. I had this one time when I can't tell y'all what we used to call it, but I believe the other
Sinclair.
word, huh?
Sinclair.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah. Just spitballing, huh?
I think the other word for it is knock knock go, where you knock on neighbors' doors and then you run or you ring their
No,
doorbell.
let's just keep moving. Keep moving.
Yeah,
We ain't
yeah.
ready.
We
I'm about
had
to say it.
we had another term for it, but we will not say that.
Mhm.
Um,
I won't
and
say what we used to call it either.
it's not a very nice term. And I was young. I didn't know any better. What the heck? What the heck? But so we have this, and Arwen knows this story too. We have
Mm-hmm.
this super old house in my old neighborhood. It was originally a plantation home because the area was plantation property, and this was the
Oh,
original
that's even
home.
more ironic.
It was built in the yeah, right. It was built in the late 1700s, early 1800s. Very old home. Fucking beautiful, gorgeous home. And it happens to be up on a hill. There's a little creek that runs behind it, and a creek. For those of you not used to the Carolina dialogue, we call it a creek.
Crick.
Yeah, we call
But
it. That's
oh,
a,
y'all
it's a
do?
southern.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we call it.
I thought it was just a Carolina thing, but
No, it's a
I'm good.
southern
I
thing. We
speak
call
American.
it. Yeah.
we know we hear you say y'all, Jester. So
I bet even
we're
those
We're
Southern
not
elves and the
well.
Rings of Power call it a crick. I don't know.
right. I don't know. But
Anyway.
we're doing the knock knock run, and we're like, oh, let's go, because this house has been for sale for like 2 years at this point. Nobody wants to buy this house, but it's gorgeous, and it's, it's not that expensive. But it was known to be haunted. And of course, we're like 13, 14 years old, so we're brave. That shit don't scare us. So
Mm-hmm.
we go
Yeah.
up, we figure we're going to find a way into the house, and we're going to walk around the house because there's always a way in. And we go up to the house and we're walking around, and we happen to look down into the basement because it has those little square windows that you could look down into the basement. And we see a candlelight moving. I'm getting chills just telling y'all this because it freaked me out when it happened. It was just and it was an obvious candlelight. You cannot mistake candlelight.
No, it's very specific kind of
Very. Yes.
luminescence. Yeah.
Yes.
A very distinctive flicker to it as well.
Yes.
Yes.
It was just moving around in the basement, and we're like in shock. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys that was with us was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." And he takes off, and then we all take off after him. Yeah, we ain't going to that house.
Nope.
We were so creeped out, and we're like, okay, so that would explain why the house hasn't sold in 2 years. And we know 100% that this house was vacant. We didn't have a homeless issue back then, so it wasn't anybody that was homeless living down there. It was so creepy, and another one that I'll never forget as long as I live.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaky.
Mm-hmm.
First
My
time we
cats are
purchased a
knocking shit
little old
over,
lady Miss
freaking me
Long
out.
used to know. She died while cleaning and baking an apple pie. Every now and then after I moved in, I'd wake up to the smell of apple pie.
Ooh.
Oh, God,
That's
I
not
can't
a
get up.
bad smell to wake up to, though.
No, it's not.
That would make me hungry.
Yeah,
or
that
something.
would be comforting in a way.
Yeah.
Little old lady baking her apple pie and to make her apple crumble and shit like that. I'd be like,
Mhm.
okay.
Here, dearie, have some apple pie.
Dairy.
But Grandma, you got an eyeball hanging and it oozes from your face. It's okay, dear. Just eat the apple pie. All will be well.
Oh, man,
Is
my
that a
cats is not
maggot
something
moving
else.
from your mouth to your nose? Ew.
Oh, that's just Henry. It's all good.
Henry. Don't mind him, honey. He doesn't eat much.
He likes crawling in and out of my holes.
He gets in all the crevices and cleans them out.
Makes me very happy.
Since I can no longer shower, he keeps me clean, squeaky.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's like in that movie Corpse Bride where she's got the little inchworm thing or maggot thing, whatever the hell he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's always popping in and out of her eye, causing trouble.
Ugh.
Mm-mm-mm.
Now I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
Oh,
thank
why
you for
not?
that.
Oh my gosh. So okay, I gotta share this with y'all too. This is my kids now, and this is about watching scary movies. So when what the hell is the name of the movie? The Conjuring.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
When
Yeah.
it first came out, my kids were in their early teens. So I watched the movie before, and I did this with any movie. I would watch it before I allowed my kids to watch it because I never let them watch certain things that were inappropriate or sexual content, all that kind of, or if it was too scary or whatever. But my oldest daughter was like 15, maybe 16. My youngest daughter is 2 years younger than her. So she would have been like 13, 12, 13. So I knew it would be okay for my oldest daughter. My younger daughter, I was like, eh. And she's very, Arwen, you know how sensitive Kat is. She's my sensitive girl.
Yeah, I do.
But But I sat down and watched it, and I'm like, okay, this movie's oh yeah, and I was like, okay, Angelique, you can watch it. But Kat, I don't know if I'm gonna let you watch it or not. And she was like, "Come on, mommy, you can let Turtle watch it. You can let me watch it too." Blah blah blah. And she's just going on, and I'm like, "Okay, fine." So we sit down and watch the movie, and I always so there's a couple of different parts here that y'all are gonna laugh your asses off. So I always like sitting beside my kids when we watch scary movies. And in the scary part, when I know it's coming up, I'll, you know, gently put my arms around them. They don't know that I'm doing it. And then when the scary part comes up, I'll tap them on the shoulder and go, ah! And they always jump every single time. They always knew I was going to do it, but every single time it scared the hell out of them. They would always jump up and be like, Mommy, ah!
So you want to stick with that statement?
Right? But that, and of course I got him a few times with that. And then in one of the scenes where if y'all remember the scene where she's like going into the armoire,
Oh,
that scene,
the
okay,
clap.
yes, yes.
That
So
fucks me up every time.
both my daughters were covering up their face with their hands, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't watch this!" But then they would move their fingers to the side and start and
Peek
peek
out.
through their fingers. They're like, "Oh my god, mommy, let me know when it's over. I can't watch it." Oh, and they would keep doing that, moving their fingers, and they jumped. They did that a couple times through that movie. They would cover up their eyes and then they'd peek through their fingers and be like, "It's scary, I can't watch it." And then when the movie was over, they were like, "That's a really good movie. Can we watch it again?"
Oh,
That sounds like back in 2013, took my wife to see the remake of The Evil Dead
Mhm.
in a movie tavern or whatever. So I was drinking, I was feeling good.
Mhm.
But she watches scary movies like every day.
Oh yeah.
Horror, gore, doesn't matter. She watches them
Mhm.
every day. She's mostly the horror, not the gore, and horror literally. So, well, because with every slasher movie, you got to have a TNA.
You got to have a Ben Bet. I mean, you really
Right.
do somewhere.
I was like, okay, whatever. So I took her to see that, and we're sitting there watching it, and she's sitting there putting her head on my shoulder, and I put my arm around her, and I was like, oh, cool, this is nice. And then she starts going, ah, and covering her face and burying it into my chest. I'm like, what is wrong with you? It's just freaking me out. I'm like, really? I'm digging this shit. And then, spoiler alert, at the end when the chick put the chainsaw through the dude's head, I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, just rooting for her. She's sitting there buried going, ah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You love this shit, and you can't watch this, and still to this day she can't watch that.
Oh my gosh.
She can't
There's
watch
some
parts of
movies
that
that
movie. I mean,
just
she
that
was
she's
watching
like-
it the other day. It was actually playing on TV the other day, and there were parts of it she wouldn't watch.
Mm.
Yeah,
I'm like-
I've got some movies like that.
I'm one of these guys. I mean, I used when the Learning Channel used to actually be about learning,
Yeah,
and they
Yeah.
show like surgeries and
I
stuff like
remember
that.
that.
I would
Mhm.
watch surgeries and eat.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh,
Shit like
Well-
that don't bother me.
You know,
Yeah.
Not
it
me.
doesn't bother me because I've seen worse in real life. So yeah, none of
I
that
worked.
shit.
I worked in the sewer for 3 years. I've
Mm.
seen some shit, literally.
my daughter can do that. She's got an iron stomach. I mean, she one of her dreams is to become a mortician, which
There's
I fully
nothing wrong with
support.
that.
I know some
Yeah.
people were like, "Ooh, that's so gross." I'm like, no,
No.
it takes a special kind of person to do that because not only are they looking after someone who has passed,
Mhm.
they have your loved one in their care, and you need someone who is responsible and honest and sensitive to that.
And
Just because the
compassionate.
person
Yeah.
just because the person leaves your home does not mean they leave your mind. Before
Yeah.
my husband was cremated, I fretted over that shit. I wanted to desperately know that his body was taken care of until that time. And you know, there are good people in that business and they have a sensitivity towards that. And so I
And they can
encourage her in
also
that. I
disconnect.
hope she does it. Yes,
That's
they
the
can.
important thing.
They
If
can.
you can disconnect, then yeah. There
Yeah.
are times when I
They
can
are there to
disconnect,
do a
but-
job, and they know that, and they are taking care of a loved one's deceased, but at the same time, they are able to do that job and not like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would get too overwhelmed by the humanity of it all. But it takes you walk that fine line, and I'm thank God there's people that's able to do that, and they'll always have a job because people are always going to pass.
Yeah.
Back to
I
life.
wanted to do that, not be a mortician, but I wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid. And then as I got older and realized that my academic scores were not going to do that for me, no, I just come to the realization that I could work on anybody except kids. I would not be able to
That
see
would
a
be
kid
difficult.
hurting or
Yeah,
dying.
that would be
I would
difficult.
not be able to handle that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when you really have to disconnect.
Yeah.
I've had to deal with some of that being in the military and being in law enforcement. You really have to disconnect, and you really have to have a good support system in place, which is what we had at the time. But yeah, it's phew. Well, I think Arwen, you and I have talked about this too, because when you told me that, I was like, wow, that's crazy. I wanted to be a forensic pathologist after I got out of the Marine Corps. Matter of fact, that's what I was going to school for afterwards. And then, of course, just kind of changed. But, forensic pathologists, they're the ones that take the evidence from the body of the person,
Yeah.
of the deceased, gather the evidence. So basically, you're doing an autopsy without doing an autopsy, but you're
Mhm.
present when the autopsy is done, and you collect any other evidence that wasn't collected during an autopsy. So yeah, fully on board with that, and that's something I still wouldn't mind doing, but I make really good money right now, and I'm not leaving where I'm at.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shay, first time I saw him, I was eating a baked potato.
Oh God, y'all.
So I
Her?
told my wife
Her?
about it, and went in there and just grabbed my potato. And went. And she's like, "You nasty bastard!" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a nasty bastard." It's all
I'll
right.
pass. I can't handle pimples, pimple popping, pus,
Oh, if I can
snot.
grow somebody
That's
out,
just-
shit, yeah,
no.
dude.
No,
They-
thanks.
and don't what's so funny is one of the guys I used to work with in the Corps, he couldn't stand just the word pus. It just was so cringeworthy to him, and every time somebody would say it, he would damn near vomit. Just the word pus, and he was like, "Ugh," and he wasn't faking it. It was real. We used to fuck with him all the time. Needless to say, he couldn't stay on the road as an MP because he couldn't deal with blood and shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of my brother when he was alive. His dog, he was a medium-sized dog, big old furry thing called Boo. Love that dog to death. But one day, well, Boo had upset tummy and had the squirts, and didn't make it outside. Well, my brother doesn't have a phobia against it. He just, I guess it's the smell that gets him. And he was trying to tell my sister about it, because have her go clean it up. While he was just telling her about it, he was gagging. He's like, "I need you to go. I need to clean up." I love my brother to death, but he had a weak stomach. I was like, dude, I used to work in that stuff. Whatever. Well, I mean, I guess he didn't ever get past the phase of cleaning up his kid's vomit. Because once you get past that phase, nothing bothers you.
Snot. I couldn't. My husband had to handle the snot. I could deal with the vomit. I could deal with the frickin' coming in. When when they're being too quiet and I go and look in their crib and it's a shit storm all over them, all over their crib, and they're just happy as a clam playing in that.
Yep.
I have to bathe them and clean them. I can handle that. Snot or anything sticky, get thee from me. I could not deal with that.
You want to hear something gross and fascinating at the same time?
Oh, I don't
Of
know.
course.
Always.
Human snot is a great degreaser.
I'll take your word for it.
I found it out by accident. I was working on this was years ago, and I was working on one of my cars, and I came in, and right before I was about to wash my hands, I had to sneeze, and I was like, "Well, I can't cover my face because my hands are greasy." So I just sneezed into my hands, and it was productive. So and I was like, "Well, I got to wash my hands anyway," so I just went ahead and started rubbing it on there to get it all off of there, and it started bringing the grease off my hands. I was like, "What the fuck?
Oh God!
That's
ew.
fucking awesome, man!"
Hell yeah.
I'm a human hand
have to remember
cleaner.
that.
To
Right?
remember that,
So if I
can't.
got grease spots, I mean, it's disgusting to think about and really disgusting to say. But if I got a grease spot that won't come off my hand, I'll hawk a lube and rub it into that.
Oh,
Bring it right
stop!
off.
Oh God, I can't.
Right off. It's like mom spit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom spit will clean any stain
Well,
off your kid.
Cleans
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to hate it when
Dad's
I did
lubes will
it.
clean
When
everything else.
when I got it done to me, and my kids hated it when I did it to them. I just
Mhm.
pass.
Isn't it funny how we do things that our parents did to us, and we were always like, "I'm never going to do that to my kids." Turn around, and we end up doing it to our kids.
Well, when you got something all over their face and you're on the go and you got two kids and you don't have a wet wipe on you, what do? Lick that tongue and scrub off their face.
That's right.
Works in a pinch. And they hated it and I hated it. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes it was what
It's
it
like,
was.
okay, for science.
I'm dead. Science.
But I don't do it all the time. Most of the time, the degreaser cleaners that I buy from the store that's not human snot, it works fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, dog saliva, against the peanut butter joke, but dog saliva actually will heal your wounds faster.
Mhm.
If you let
Yeah.
a dog
I
lick your
have
wound,
heard
it'll heal
that. I
faster.
have heard that. It's
Oh,
like the
that's,
balm of Gilead.
And sometimes they insist. If you
And-
try and move them away from it and they're trying to lick your cut, they'll growl at you. Just let them do it.
I've
And,
heard
Because
that.
it'll heal it fast.
In ancient Greece and ancient Rome, that was a method that they used, is they would have a dog lick a wound.
hmm
Hmm.
And the dogs, even though they've tasted human blood, they won't be, oh, they've tasted human blood, now they're gonna no.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
They actually don't want to do it because who was Mackenzie one time. I had just a couple months ago. I had a cut on my arm. I came home from work and didn't even know it was there. And then she come up to me and just started licking my arm. I was like, "What are you doing, sweetie?" And then I moved it and she went, "Oh." And I was like, "What?" And I looked and it was bleeding. I was like, "Okay." And she was doing it. She was cleaning it, but she was crying as she was doing it
Oh.
because it's like I'm not going. It's basically her telling me she's not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
Yeah,
trying
she
to
was
help
sitting there
you.
crying as she was licking my
Aw,
wound. It's
that's
like,
sweet.
"Oh, poor baby."
Yeah, that's sweet.
Mhm.
Okay, cats, y'all hear that? All those cat scratches where y'all have drawn blood? You need to
No, you
clean
need
up
to
after
get a dog.
yourself.
You let the cat lick a wound, man, it's going to open that bitch up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it will. Cat mouths are nasty.
Like sandpaper.
Well, they're not nasty. It's just that they got that sandpaper tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
you got to be
because
careful
that's your
though. If
load
you
of
get a cat
microscopic
bite,
clips.
if you get a really bad cat bite, you need to go get that shit checked out because it could get infected like crazy.
Well, it's no difference from getting a dog bite.
Yeah, right,
The
buddy.
bites, the teeth are different from the tongues.
Yeah.
So any type of bite is not good from cat or dog.
Yeah.
But
Cat scratch fever. It's not just a catchy name.
yeah, it's a real thing.
Oh God, I'm
Mhm.
surprised I don't have fever all the time. I got all kinds of scratches and little scars all over me from the years of just having cats.
Mostly it comes from
Maybe
them
that's what
using
the vapors
litter
are.
boxes.
Maybe so, Jester. Yeah.
Shay said something about the peanut butter. And, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
guess if they were fresh enough, they would do that. Yeah,
Mhm.
I could see that. But no, getting back to the peanut butter thing, it just reminded me of a TikTok video that Mark sent me a few days ago.
Oh
It's
God.
a chick dipping her big toe in peanut butter and sticking it in the lake, and the fish will come up and suck the peanut butter off of her toe.
Mhm.
She's like, look, they just suck it right off. And then it shows a dude running down a dock with a can of peanut butter on his crotch, full speed, heading towards the lake, and then just dives on the lake and throws his feet up in the air and just. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's fucking hilarious.
And why am I not surprised it was Mark?
Yeah.
Mark keeps sending me dick pics. But it's not the dick pics y'all think.
I'm thinking pictures of Richard III.
Yes.
'Cause that's what I send when people ask for dick pics.
And Dick Van Dyke. And Dick
Ah,
York.
yes.
And Dick, just Tricky Dick. He sent me the best one the other day. I got a picture of Richard Nixon.
Let's see.
Well, Jester, you can feel free to send me a dick pic whenever you want.
Now, there's an invite I don't often get.
Oh,
I'll dig up my best Richard III pictures then. Oh,
Yeah. Dick Clark. He sent me. That was actually the first dick pic he sent me. Was Dick Clark. And I think Arwen was in on that one.
I was.
Okay, I found it.
Oh gosh.
See it?
Oh my god. I don't care if I get the whole damn stream copyright thing. I don't give a fuck. This is funny as shit. Okay. Da-da-da. Okay. Oops.
Butter.
Ow. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That was greatness. I love that shit.
well found, Mark. Well found.
Yeah, TikTok, it's people despise it, and I'm one of them. But occasionally, you will find gold on there
What the?
like that.
Oh shit.
Well, it's basically Vines, and that was pretty much the same. Occasionally,
Yeah.
there would be a moment of gold.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember those Vine videos. It was like, God, you had to sift through so much crap to find the gold.
You know what, Arwen? I just looked at text messages.
that's a big stick.
You know what? I didn't quite see the picture at first, and I thought it was a cucumber. I was like, "What the fuck is going?"
Oh my God, that does look like a cucumber. What the
No,
fuck?
no, it's a mugwort.
Why do you have a cucumber bondaged? You have it tied
That's
up.
what I was thinking at first, and then I read below and it said Arlena's smudge stick, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's better."
Look,
That's the biggest one I have. That's
okay,
the-
that looks
that's
like a
when you
cucumber that's tied up, don't it?
At least
Pull out the big guns.
It does look like a tied up cucumber. Yeah.
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 It's
Was that-
mugwort, I think.
It's slugging something.
You're like,
It's
wait a minute, what the
big.
hell?
Most of my smudge sticks are regular size. That's my jumbo. That's my grande.
Mhm.
Everyone loves a
Mhm.
grande.
No, they do.
That need context. A lot of context. And no, no. We're not about context here.
No,
We just
no.
let you use your imagination.
Imagination.
Oh my God. Holy God.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, a smudge stick is just sage. That's
Yeah,
all it is
yeah.
sage.
Are you sure? I hear the sirens.
Sorry. Looks
Well,
similar
so-
to the ones in Phasmophobia. Yeah, that's what they are. Yeah.
Mm.
Smudge sticks, sage sticks, whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just looked up and looked at the time. I was like, holy shit, we have not had a stream this long in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's been good. I like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's like that old bad joke. Why do British people don't say that? Why do they say it British? Because they drink all the tea.
Oh my God. Jester, you can admonish him for that.
I
Give us
shouldn't laugh,
gesture.
but
We're
I am.
just we're dumb colonists.
Admonish.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Ain't no one to sleep. I don't like the stuff. I drink coffee.
Oh,
Dude,
I
I
love tea.
just
I am the most
morning.
British person you'll ever meet. I don't drink tea. I don't like football.
Well,
this
you're
is the first
football.
morning.
You're football.
Any football.
Our football is different from y'all's football.
Yeah, it's closer to rugby.
Yeah.
I know, my dad's a fan. He likes them Raiders.
Oh wow.
Hang on, let me click to the other stream.
What are you trying to click on there, Daryl? Oh, Arwen, you see how it works now? We're streaming to 2 channels.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Yeah, I don't see anything different from my end.
Yeah, it doesn't look any different.
Okay.
What?
Y'all can go watch that TikTok on your own. It's 30 second or that video. That it's not a TikTok. Anyway, it's the links in the chat. Black Dragon posted. That's funny as shit. I can't put it on here because it's 30 seconds. But yeah, it's funny because that's not something you can just stop. You got to watch the whole thing through nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
My cats are spazzing.
But yeah, let's see. Holy crap! The horror channel is up to 9 subscribers now.
What?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna start. I'm gonna start posting on the horror channel. It's not going to be as often as here, but it's gonna. I'm gonna try and weasel it in somewhere, to where it'll be maybe a produced video, or I'm probably not going to do the simultaneous live streams like today, because there's 2 other videos on the channel that we simul stream from here, so everybody's already seen them. Who's here, maybe, but that way I want to keep the content different.
Mm-hmm.
I still like talking about Halloween and stuff here, so we may still do that. I don't know, just going back on what I just said.
Okay, so I have a question, Jester. Did y'all ever settle the argument of whether, wasn't it on Stevens when y'all were playing Fortnite, whether Nightmare After Christmas was a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
It's clearly a Christmas movie because it's about Christmas. It
Did
just
y'all
happens
settle?
to have Halloween characters in it.
Yeah. Well, did
It's
y'all
both
settle
in
that
that
argument?
one.
I mean, because they were, I'm telling y'all, it was funny as shit. I was sitting there listening to it, and they were arguing. No, it's a Halloween movie. No, it's a Christmas movie. It's clearly
Thank
a
you, Scott.
Christmas movie. It's clearly a Halloween movie.
I watch it both.
Okay.
I like it for both.
I'm perfectly happy to accept people watching it at Halloween or any time of the year. It's a great
Yeah.
movie. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
clearly a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Chris
Well,
agrees with you.
since we're on that subject now, Die Hard 1 and 2.
Absolute Christmas movies.
Christmas movies.
Movie set
But
at
again,
Christmas.
you could watch them whenever. But yeah, it is, the flavor is best when consumed around Christmas.
Yes.
Mhm. Just like Home Alone.
Yes, Home Alone's another good example of
Yep.
movie set at Christmas, but it's not about Christmas.
I'm ready for some Fortnite.
Yeah. Christmas makes me want to pissmas.
I love Christmas.
Well, I did when I was a kid, and even when my kids were young, and I'd buy them all. I mean, even now it's still good because we still get together, but it's not as festive as it once was because it's become way too commercialized, way too oversaturated. So I like to enjoy it as I treat it as a family holiday to where we just get together, have a nice meal, enjoy each other's company, and exchange some gifts. I don't really, the meaning for everything has been lost.
Well, that's only if you allow it to be.
And for me, it has been because I don't feel it. I haven't felt it in probably 25 years. I think there's been 1 year I felt the Christmas spirit, so to speak. That was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that's it. The rest of the time, it's just like, oh, God, it's Christmas again.
Well, I guess I won't send you
Yeah.
a really nice Christmas present again this year.
What did I just say? I treat it as a
Messing with
family
you.
holiday.
I'm messing with you.
But if you want to send me gifts, I'm not going to stop you.
No, I know what you mean.
Besides,
though.
I got your Christmas gift sitting right over here. I already
I
sent you a picture
know.
of it.
It's awesome. I love it.
Would you believe I got it for free?
Yeah, that is. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
After all the shit that was back and forth with it,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
going
awesome.
to have to force money on her because she's just starting to give me everything.
Does she have what she needs?
Yeah, she ordered it already.
Oh, cool.
She's in talks with Coach about the collection.
Oh, good. Okay.
Got it all in storage. They haven't finalized anything yet, but she said after she's trying to sell his truck and all this other stuff. But once she gets all that done, gets all that cleared away, she's going to get everything out of storage, go through it, let Coach make an offer. He's probably going to come to Texas, and we'll have a little video
Awesome.
and all that stuff.
He's
But
going to make her an offer she can't refuse.
I think he already did.
Ah.
She told me, and I can't repeat it.
Mm.
And it's very generous.
Well, that's Coach.
Yeah.
I about shot a nugget out my drawers. I was like, what? I would have jumped on that. I would have jumped on that like a hard dildo.
Mm.
And I'm straight.
Like a
Okay.
butt plug.
Yes. Like a butt plug. All right. Well, now that this place is getting really weird,
Yeah.
we're gonna go play some Fortnite.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, been here 2.5 hours. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you all for
yeah.
being on the panel.
was
Arlen
fun.
Jester, thank y'all for stepping in, and hanging
Thanks
out.
for having me.
Arlena, glad you showed up, buddy.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
glad you were able to make it.
Yep.
And do y'all want to say your customary exit greetings?
Well, remember, there are still kind people in this world, and if you can't find one, then be one.
And remember, no matter where you are in the galaxy, you will always have a seat at our table. Y'all take care.
Bye, y'all.
Bicycle.
Hey, welcome to the back.
Right one.